Hello and welcome to my first stream of where we create a character on stream. The whole idea is we create a character. This kind of struck an idea from when I was streaming this past weekend. I was just kind of creating random characters and I was getting some feedback from I say feedback, I was getting some ideas from the audience and people watching. So what I did ahead of time to kind of prepare, let me share my screen, is I did a poll and I probably should have done this a little sooner, hopefully, to get more people. I also don't know if 7 votes is good or bad or not, considering I have almost 1,700 subscribers, which I am very thankful for. But I just kind of threw out there, I'm like, we're going to create a character. I just started coming up with like random ideas and then put it to a vote. For a while, it was like a head to head race of all four. And I did comment earlier, I think I took it down, and it was like, can somebody please vote? So looks like the crystal, so sorry, let me backtrack. So the four options we had were the crystal fox, the stardust bat, cloud dragon, and a plant bunny. And looks like crystal fox wins for this stream. If we get time, we might work on the cloud dragon since that did come in second place. So, but yeah, so I need to kind of get my iPad set up for this. I got my handy dandy tea. Okay, iPad time. Also, I finally have all my assets done for the prototype of a video game that me and my boyfriend are working on for a game jam. So just a little update if anybody cares. Now it's just up to him. I'm hoping we're supposed to have stuff done last week and just life got ahead of us, but I'm hoping he's able to get some stuff done this weekend. I mean, some stuff done within the next couple days. Okay, I love working in squares. That's just become kind of my thing. Also, I didn't realize how low my battery was on my iPad. We love that. Let's just unplug you. We don't need you. Yeah, I've been using my iPad all day today, so pardon me. Can I just flip you upside down? Let's see how well this actually works with it flipped the opposite way. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think Crystal Fox was actually gonna win, and I didn't actually have a plan for that, which is wild to me. What is going on? There we go. So we're gonna have to sketch something up. Earlier, I was working on some thumbnails. I guess I did something. So it was a tip that I remember from when I was in high school that I was taught to kind of do like tiny versions of the of like what like tiny sketches of what you want your final piece to be, and I was doing that earlier and it just didn't come out right. So yeah. Anyways, hello Dancer Sam, how are you doing? I don't know if you had a chance to look up my poll, but we are creating a character today, which winner is Crystal Fox, which I don't know what that's gonna look like. The thumbnail sketch I was working on earlier, the fox is like taking a nap, but I don't think that works for what I'm going for. So I have no idea what we're gonna do. Yeah, so have never drawn a successful fox before. Well, let me go Google that. uh, Crystal. Oh wait, no, I want fox. Which I probably should have done a sketch ahead of time, so I do apologize. Okay, so when I think of crystal, I'm thinking of like the pastel colors. Might go for like a blue or a purple. Ooh, a purple crystal fox would be fun. Stealing that. Um, I think most of the fox is just gonna be fox-like, and then maybe the tail's gonna have crystals on it, or maybe we put some crystals on his head. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So, how is everyone's day going? My day's been a little hectic with work-related stuff, but it was quite productive in some other areas of things, so that's kind of good. At least I got some things done. It's the magical life of working a full-time job and trying to balance everything out. It sucks, but you do what you can. I'm like, foxes are just wild cats, sort of. They are just wild cats. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing these character creation things at least one day a week if I can, just to kind of make it like a dedicated day. I just gotta figure out which day works for me and maybe other people. Maybe I'll do a poll on that to see what works best for people. Also, I finally have another video coming out soon. It took only like 2 weeks to get that done. I have quite a few videos in the backlog kind of already mostly done. I just gotta either do voiceovers or do the editing. So something I really need to work on. I just, balancing a lot of stuff. Um, and then in a couple days, I am off to Miami for the weekend, which I'm very excited for. Bear with me as I struggle. I'm right now looking at a reference for some sort of idea. That looks atrocious. Oh, I like the little eye thing that they did. I guess it's supposed to look like an eyelid or something. I hit the face. That might go. This might go too. Okay, well, I don't know how we're doing the face yet, but pretty much I'm going for like a sitting position or something. I say or something because we know how these things go. I say I want to do one thing and then I realize I'm so bad at my skill that honestly it's like, well, just do what you can in your ability. Also, he's looking a little wonky. That's okay. Uh-oh. This is becoming rather strange. I had an idea and I don't like this. Okay, we're gonna get rid of his face. Not all of it, some of it. Uh, I honestly, so like people that are drawing other fox creatures that they're not connecting the nose with the mouth, but like cats and dogs they do that for, which is wild to me. Where you get your iPad as a kid? Wait, I'm confused. I'm sorry. Like, did I get my iPad as a kid, or where did I? I didn't get an iPad until I turned about 15, and I've had that one for like ever. I think I still have it somewhere. I don't use it anymore. I ended up getting a new one this past year because, yeah, it it was not really keeping up with the latest software stuff, and that's kind of an indication that if your hardware is getting kind of old, it might be time to replace it. Plus, like the battery was dying real quickly. It wasn't great, but it got the job done for back in the day. I do want to open it and look at some of the old art stuff and maybe try to recreate some stuff from that. Not that I had much art going on there, uh, but yeah, I just like I want to start getting more into art this year, and so I just kind of picked up my own iPad because I wanted it. But if your question was where I got it from Best Buy because I I like going to Best Buy for things. The only thing I didn't go to Best Buy for this year in terms of technology is my Switch 2 because that was a dumpster fire trying to pre-order that there. You know. I don't know how I want to do this. I've been drawing more chibi characters, so now I just feel like I kind of have to stick with that now. It's just become like, not my branding, but oh, just what I've gotten good at. Um, yeah, we're just gonna keep doodling something till something sticks. But have you drawn any? Has anybody out there drawn anything good, fun? Also, Dancer Sam, I actually took your idea. So years ago, I'm talking about like 2012. I was in middle school, and I was really into like drawing Powerpuff Girls. I believe we spoke about that last time. And I came across this art piece. It's a girl that's annoyed. I kind of drew, I guess, my own version of the Powerpuff Girls. So that's Poisetta, or however you pronounce that thing. So I ended up drawing like a chibi version of her. If it wants to select. Oh, nope. No, what happened? I don't know what that white line is, but we can get rid of that another day. But so I drew that up, and then I've been in the middle of drawing something else up. Pretty much it's just her annoyed. I imagine, so the reason why she's in a bathing suit in the OG is to recreate her in a bathing suit on a towel. But I kind of added flowers to her pigtails because I thought that would work to kind of tie in the whole flower thing to her name. And then same thing here. I will add the flowers to her hair, but if she were to wear some kind of clothing, it would definitely be like a punk style. And I was working on a leather jacket for her. I don't know if that's going to end up in the final piece, but definitely something I'm working on in the background. Now, the original art made it look like she had a split hair dye. And I'm not really sure what those colors were meant to be. But now my headcanon is that she is an albino that decided to dye half her hair black just to kind of have the punk element of it because she was just tired of people making comments about it. And then obviously her eyes are red because she's albino now. Weird theories and stuff. You play Wii on Nintendo. So yes, I do, sorta. So I got my first Wii in like, when did I first move to Texas? Like my first Christmas here in Texas, I was like 7 or 8. Back to my Crystal Fox because I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, so when I first moved to Texas is when I got my first Wii. This was like 2008. I think I was 8 years old. And I kind of played it on and off, and I was a huge fan of the Just Dance games. Like that's just what I played all the time. And so then Nintendo released the Wii U, which was supposed to be the successor, but due to a failed their marketing strategy, people thought that it was just like an attachment to the Wii, not that it was a brand new system. So their marketing was just garbage, which left them not what do you call it? It was just I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. So yeah, so pretty much they only sold 13 million units of the Wii U, which was quite bad considering, I mean, if you look at the Switch sales, let me see how many they sold. How many? I feel like everyone has like a Switch now. How many Switches have been sold? Like 152 million units sold of the Switch, which is crazy. And when you compare that to the 13 million. So I am part of the 13 million that do own a Wii U. I also did not play that for its intended purpose, which you were supposed to play with the little gamepad. I used it for Just Dance related things yet again. I love playing Just Dance. Not that I've touched that game in years, but probably to this day, you put on some of these songs that I played, that I like danced to a lot, I would probably like dominate somebody. I say possibly because I don't know. Also, I have no idea if this looks like a... This almost looks like an Eevee tail. We love that. But not currently. I still do have my Wii. It's at my apartment. But I haven't cracked that open. Am I ever going to get rid of it? No, because I'm a hoarder. And hoarders don't get rid of things like that. They just hold on to everything forever. So I'm never going to sell it, because that was something that somebody asked me one time if I would ever sell my Switch. No, I'm not my Switch, my Wii. And no. Now, the games I played on Wii were not your traditional Wii games. I'm talking about like Miley Cyrus, she had a show on Disney Channel called Hannah Montana. So I had a game for that. Um, I think Build-A-Bear had their own game on Wii, and I played that too. Like all of these games were wild, and the fact that I played them was great. Like all the childhood memories. I'm sure I have those games somewhere. I can't actively tell you where they're at. Let me go see what the crap a crystal looks like. But do you play any Switch games? I mean, does anybody out there play Nintendo games? I also used to own a DS. A DS was fun. I used to play that a lot. I was more of like a Pokemon kind of player on that. Because who doesn't like to play Also, I have no idea how this is supposed to look. It's supposed to be a crystal, I guess. We may have to rework this whole this is like great in theory, but sleeping fox. This is a bad idea. I shouldn't have suggested it if I didn't have an idea for the fox idea. I'm trying to figure like what way I can actually go about this. What's your favorite Just Dance map? Ooh. My top one I can probably think of is I believe it's from Just Dance 4. I used to play the heck out of that one. Just Dance 4. It's a Just Dance 4. Ooh, the One Direction one was fun. What Makes You Beautiful. Um, it's called Oh No by Marina and the Diamonds, and I love Marina and the Diamonds, and that was a lot of fun to dance to, and I used to like play that a lot. I think it was Just Dance 2016. They also had a Hatsune Miku one. Oh, what was it? 2016 Hatsune Miku. Yeah, it's Levon Polka, and I loved the heck out of that one too. So those are definitely probably my two favorites. I definitely have had my fair share of them that I loved, but yeah, I feel like Just Dance 4 will always forever have a special place in my heart. Feel like 2016 too, and I don't know why. But like I have not played any of the recent ones. Now I did hear that they've been adding lore to these games, which is wild. So they're bringing back like old characters. Last Friday Night was a fun one too that I really liked. That one they had a Lady Gaga. No, I'm sorry. They had a Katy Perry one last Friday night where they brought back like all of the dance coaches is what they called them, and they pretty much they just like made references by having, like I said, the old dance coaches from each of the other games from her other songs, and I thought that was such a like a fun little throwback. But it is fun like watching these I don't know, like that was a fun one. Another one I remember was just literally Just Dance by Lady Gaga. That one was a fun one. Starships by Nicki Minaj was a fun one too. That one's very colorful and bright. I also like that song to begin with, so like makes sense. Okay, so I kind of have an idea. I'm gonna actually physically make it a crystal, I think, is the plan. I've never done that before. So um does look a little more wolf-like, but that's okay. Let's just start sketching out the stuff and then we'll actually start going in with the lines. But to this day, the moment somebody like at a party has like a Just Dance related thing and they're like, who wants to play? I'm like, dude, sign me up. And I've played other like Just Dance games. Like I think the Smurfs had one, which was weird. Cause I don't know, it was really weird. Okay, this is gonna be another work in progress. Honestly, I should just put a disclaimer on everything I do at this point and just say that, like, everything I do is just a mega work in progress for, like, what looks good. That's just how we be. Um, let me see. Mega big crystal. Honestly, I feel like the line version that I'm trying to do, I feel like drawing the crystal version might actually be easier for me. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm struggling on size. Not gonna lie, this one is kind of fun. Do I have a favorite anime? Yes. Well, I feel like we spoke about like what my first anime was, so it'll forever also have a special place in my heart, which is Naruto. But as of this time, there's an anime that I just started watching and I absolutely love it. Uh, let me find the name of it. It's called My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Zoom. So pretty much the premise of it is that this girl, she wakes up in this little girl's body and she's trying to figure out like what's going on, and then she starts piecing everything together, and turned out she died in her past life. I forgot what the cause of death was, but that she hold up. So she wakes up in this new world, like I said, as like a 6-year-old or 9-year-old little girl. And it turns out that she's playing as the villainess in one of her favorite video games. And so now she's trying to figure out like how to navigate this, because she doesn't want, because like she starts remembering like how the game is and some of the routes that she played from being like the main character, or like playing as the main character in the game, some of the routes as her being the villainess ends in death. And so she's trying to avoid that. And so she like starts befriending everyone, and it's great. I'm really enjoying it. And I would say I'd recommend it to probably most people, but I don't know, it's a hit or miss. My boyfriend came in yesterday and started watching some of it with me. Definitely not his cup of tea. It's more of a like a girly show, but I still enjoyed it. I liked it. But Naruto definitely has a special place in my heart, like I said. Boruto's pretty fun. I think I've been following more of the manga. Let me just Google anime that I'm ish familiar with. One Piece is a no-go for me. I will never like that anime. Um, Saiki K is a really fun one. That one's on Netflix. That one's just like a slice of life funny anime where this dude just has like all these mind powers and can like telepathically like hear everybody, and he has to like try to pretend to be normal, but then his parents are like nut jobs and all his friends are weirdos, and it's great, but nobody catches on to him. That one's a fun one. Trying to think. Oh, Spy X Family is a really fun one. And I actually went with my friend a to a convention dressed up as, we did like a whole family cosplay, and I still have to post that what do you call it? I still gotta post that vlog. I and edit the video. I'm still very behind on it, but it was a very fun thing that we did. Um, what do you call it? But yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of anime and stuff like that I haven't really watched anything too lately, other than that one I mentioned, the villainous one, which I still think is a fun little anime concept. Okay, so the goal is I don't know what I'm doing. Also, so I was gonna start turning some of these characters into plushies, but if you guys like me enough, please don't request this to be one, because I will actually cry. Because this just looks like a nightmare to draw. Okay, and that we have this part down. I gotta figure out. We're gonna try to do an isometric thing. I guess this is a crystal wolf, I suppose. Take a drink for me out there. And honestly, I find that I'm learning more and more about Procreate every day. There was a fun new brush I made earlier, which was definitely a thing which I needed, so it kind of saved my life for what I was working on. Where are you? Is it under calligraphy? Yeah, so it's this whole like round brush thing, which is fun. I have no idea what it's doing now, but if I go like that, like it, I don't know, it's fun. Now it's just acting janky for some reason. We'll troubleshoot that another day. Anyways, let's isometric you. But yeah, I keep learning more and more things about Procreate. But it is nice that, you know, I think more of my feed on TikTok has been more art related stuff, which that means stuff being art related is I'll start getting tips and tricks for stuff in Procreate. Unfortunately, I do see tips and tricks from other creators for other apps, like Clip Studio, I think is one. Ibis, I think, is another one. Don't quote me on that. I don't even know if people still use Photoshop anymore for art. I haven't seen too many people use that, but that used to be like the go-to standard back in the day. Drawing assist. Is people sometimes come to your streams? Sometimes. I think this week specifically might be busy for some people. I had more attention over like during the weekend, which was odd. I was surprised that I even really had anybody hop on a what do you call it? On like on a Saturday and Sunday at like 8, 9 in the morning my time, which was wild to me, but I still appreciated it. We had one dude on Sunday who hopped on. So I was chatting with this one person who I've been referring to as Green because that's part of his username or their username. And the wild part to me was that we had a guy that came on trying to share his music, which was fine. I didn't care. But just the whole experience was wild to me. So we ended up listening to a song, had fun, and then his one of his fans hopped on and asked if he was there, and then he jumped back on, and it was a fun time. I think my favorite stream had to have been on Sunday. It was also a very long stream. Very long stream. I don't know if I would do that again. It's bound to happen again. Uh-oh. But I've had it. I think, you know, yesterday I didn't get too many people. I think you might have been my main viewer. I think someone else might have jumped on. I don't remember, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Okay, so I really like this brush because it looks like it looks like a crayon is coloring or something, which is why I like it personally. It would probably help if I actually had drawing guides up. Assisted drawing. If this is cheating, I don't care. Also, so I'm part of the Gen Z. What do you call it? I'm part of the Gen Z generation. And my goodness, the amount of non-seriousness that has taken place within like social media is hilarious to me. Because there have been talks of like a World War III or something because the US is getting into wars or something. I don't know, I didn't pay attention to it. But it was funny to me because people are now like saying, "Oh, so what are we gonna wear?" And one person's like, "Oh, military chic." So it's just like 2000s inspired like outfits that are like with camo. And yeah, I don't know. It's been wild how Gen Z has been doing stuff and saying things. But I guess kudos to us or something. But yeah, people have been saying that Gen Zs are the most like unserious generation, which definitely true. Definitely true. Well, I hope that's even. If this doesn't look like a fox, please let me know. I am doing my hardest to actually make this look, I guess, legit. I don't know if this is looking more wolf-like, but you know what? Whatever, I'm trying. Oh, hello! This is my lovely boyfriend. He hops on and does things from time to time. He I actually had somebody on stream, so my nails are rainbow. They have been mistaken for Skittles multiple times. And so one person hopped onto stream saying I sounded sus or something because I have rainbow nails. And then out comes my boyfriend. And I was like, hey guys, that's my boyfriend of 9 years. And they're like, oh, never mind. I just happen to like rainbows. Like, that's just what kind of happened, is I just wanted something bright for summer. So, anyways, my friend's the one that does my nails, but ooh, fun. Bean AJ. Can you draw my character? I love your art. When was that? That was like 5 days ago. I will take their art idea into consideration for, I think I'm going to stream tomorrow, question mark? I don't remember. What is going on? That's not what I wanted. I wanted more of like a 45-degree angle from this. I don't think that's gonna happen. That's okay. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna take off the drawing assist for now. Honestly, let's just do a new layer. Maybe this is looking more cat-like. I hate that. Okay. You know what? We will figure this out. Oh my gosh. My air conditioning's been off all day since I've been not home, and it is atrociously hot right now. I cannot wait for it to not be so hot. What is the temperature right now? Do you go to Japan with your boyfriend? We actually went last year. We went for a few days in spring. We were hoping to see cherry blossoms, and we did technically see cherry blossoms at the start of it. Uh, it was like the last week of March, and I kind of wish we were there in April, but travel out there was just gonna be like terrible to get out there. But we're actually going back in November to go look at some of the cherry blossom, or not the cherry blossoms, like the fall colored change leaf stuff. Plus, it shouldn't be as hot because originally I was gonna go in September, which is my birthday month. But turns out that would have been a bad idea because it's still hot out there, which is the last thing I wanted. So I'm like, okay, well, when's the ideal time to go for fall? And the internet said to go in like November. So we'll be out there for that. Okay, a second. So yeah, we'll be out there in November, probably around Thanksgiving, which I plan to vlog out there if possible. We'll see how possible that's gonna be, but it doesn't hurt to try. I did get some video footage from when I went last year, and I posted that, I think, maybe on my vlog channel. There, it's more shorts than actual brain fart than like an actual vlog video. But some of my favorite creators have posted vlogs for stuff out there, so I'm hoping it's possible. I don't know how they did it or what they had to do to get away with it, but I did hear that starting next year that Japan is supposed to be, they're doing something with their tourism like laws or something, which I didn't understand. That apparently tourists have been going out there and they've been very rowdy and stuff like that, and so they're trying to do away with, or they're going to be upcharging for things with some tourism tax thing there. So definitely a thing. Not sure, but I don't think that starts or that's in effect until next year. Like early next year is what I read, so we're in the clear of that. But after that, I think we'll be taking a break from Japan for a hot second. Trying to see if we want to go somewhere next year for vacation, but that's a later this year problem. I think as long as we're not leaving the country, we're fine. Because that does take a lot more planning than, you know, doing a vacation within the States. So it might be nice just to stay in the States, you know. But when we go to Japan later this year, this will actually be my my fourth time going. First time I went with my brother and my grandparents. The second time I went with my childhood friend and my mom. No, I'm sorry. First time was my grandparents, my mom, and my brother, then me. Second time was my childhood friend, me and my mom. And then last time was my mom, me, and my boyfriend. So this will be the first time that we're navigating Japan together. But I think it's fine as long as you have some kind of guide. Like, and what I mean by guide is like Google Maps or something. Because last year we didn't have any issues. Honestly, it was like 90% of my boyfriend, like, navigating for me and my mom. But other than that, like, it wasn't half bad. But honestly, they're super friendly out there. So, I mean, if we do have questions, like, they're all down to help. And I appreciate that. Because I have been to other countries. And, you know, some of them are rude and they're mean. Unless you happen to, like, know their like, native language or whatever. I was like, dang, dude, okay. Like, what did I do to get your rudeness? But I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I went to Greece a couple summers ago, and some of those people were, like I said, they were just me. I was like, why? I don't even know you people. Give me a second. Uh-oh. But there was had a conversation with somebody at work about like what other countries I'd want to go to. Since I've been around, I've been to, you know, a good portion of the States. I've been to, you know, Mexico. I would like to go to Canada. That might be something for the future. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to Japan. Like, this will be my fourth time going. I've been to Greece. I like stayed the night in, I think, Madrid, or maybe it was Athens. I don't know. I stayed the night no, I connected in Madrid to get to Greece, which Madrid's nice, I guess. Which is out in Spain. Maybe Cuba. Which sounds completely, like, crazy to say that, but my family, they're from Cuba, or part of my mom's family, so it's, you know, definitely something that's, like, I would do once and then maybe never again unless I got to meet family out there and actually be more active with them. I would probably explore other parts of Greece. Definitely something I would do. Korea is another one I would like to go visit. There was a funny story that I told on, like, an earlier stream where there was this little girl that she's from Korea, and she asked me, or she was telling me, she's like, yeah, I'm going to be going to Korea soon. I was like, that's cool. I said, you know, have you been before? You know, just, I don't know, random questions. And she's like, yeah, I've been. Have you? And I said, no. I said, I've been to Japan, but I would like to go to Korea. Then her next question is, have you been to North Korea? And I was like, excuse me? Are you secretly just a Korean spy or something? But, then then after that, I was like, huh? And she's like, oh, I mean New York. And I was like, that is two separate places on this earth. How about no? You know, it made me giggle. I don't think she did it maliciously, at least I sure hope not. Definitely sure hope she didn't. What does the fox do? It's like but yeah, there's probably some places I'd like to go. It won't be in this lifetime, or I say not in this lifetime. It won't be now. Just there's just too many places I want to go visit. Too many places. I could duplicate. I don't think there's any other places I would go to if I could. So why is this arm longer than the other? Hold up, let me fix you, bestie. Distort. Never mind. Whatever. I never said I was good at this. Let's think. I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Vegas many times, I've been to California. I would like to go back to California. There was a So back when I was in high school, I took some engineering classes just because it was mandated by my high school because it was a STEM high school, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And so we were required to at least take 2 years of engineering and 2 years of like a technology class. And so the engineering class I ended up in, so all the freshmen took, the base engineering class. Then for second year, either you would go into civil engineering or there was like an end of year test that you would have to take. And if you made, so it was on a scale of 1 to 9. And if you made a 7 or higher, you were put into like the specialty class, which honestly felt like a combination of physics and chemistry, weirdly enough. But so some way somehow, I didn't really study for this, but anyway, so some way somehow I ended up getting into the specialty class, which honestly probably my favorite engineering class I've taken. It's I don't I think there were a lot more fun projects than in the civil engineering class, but one of my projects was each of us were assigned like a sort of process. And I was given glass blowing, which if you know anything about glass blowing, it's pretty much where you're taking really hot glass and then you blow into this big metal tube thing and then it like makes glasses. Like a shape like this might be done through glass blowing. Obviously, most glass blowing is automated through machine and stuff like that, but there's still cool things or whatever. So, anyways, so my parents, instead of doing what most people probably would do, is either go do the thing or like do research on the project and then talk about it to to the class like in a presentation style, or maybe if you can get your hands on a machine like that. But I'm like, I'm a 15-year-old girl who is doing what do you call it? Who's not going to be dealing with thousands of degrees Fahrenheit of molten glass. Like at least by myself, that's not readily available. So my parents, for some reason, instead of maybe going somewhere locally, we end up flying out to California, the Venice Beach area, and there's this really cool guy that does glass blowing. So back in high school, I really liked doing YouTube and having, a lot of creative stuff. I didn't take YouTube too seriously. It was one of those, like, I'll just post as I post. And it was a lot of fun to, so I went out there and pretty much my mom filmed me doing the whole process. And like I said, had fun with it. And I interviewed the guy, and I think the video's still up on my YouTube, but next year would actually be the 10-year anniversary of me doing said project, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to go back, and so I had like a whole little video idea, so that might be something that might be coming in the near future, but that's totally something else. Let me see. Oh, hello, AJ. Hello. Or AJ, what am I talking about? Donut Girly. Right now working on a crystal thing, or a crystal fox based on a poll I did earlier. So we're trying to draw that. I have no idea what I'm doing. Let me see. Sorry, I missed a few messages. I'm going to wait for 1000k subs because Streamlabs won't let me till I'm 16 to sign in. Oh, fair enough. Oh, till you turn 16. Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. You know, I think you're able to live stream now though. I think based on your I think if it's via on a desktop, there were some weird qualifications there because I have a vlog channel and I was waiting to get to like 50 subscribers to be able to go live on that, and then I found out that you don't need like a minimum. I think that's if you're going on mobile. So, but I will say 1,000 subscribers did take me a while to get to. But it's possible you have those people that blow up overnight. I am not one of those, and I'm okay with that. Honestly, I'm very proud of the progress I've made to this point. I think my biggest issue was I was not focusing on a certain niche, as they would say. I was all over the place, but now I've kind of focused at what I wanted to do. I happen to like vlogging and a bunch of random stuff, so I did split that off into a separate channel, but that's got like 30 subscribers now, which is fine. You know, I don't promote that too much because I get it. It's one of those that you follow somebody for one thing and you're not interested in other things, and that's fine. I just like to see it as like a fun little hangout channel of where I just, you know, I go to conventions, I post videos on there on that. I've done like silly vlogs with me and my boyfriend going out doing like fun date night things, or sometimes he'll surprise me with something, which he did surprise me with a trip to Build-A-Bear again. So actually I gotta post that at some point. I have such a backlog on my vlogging stuff. But just random things. But yeah, the whole setup of what I've been doing with streaming my art stuff has been a pain in the butt. And I'm about to make it a bigger pain in the butt because I want to actually start live streaming actual traditional media stuff. But I'm gonna wait till I'm no longer at my mom's and start trying to get that set up at my apartment. That's gonna be a whole other ordeal and something I'm sure my boyfriend's not gonna be interested in helping me with. So hello, Wolfmaster. Long time no see. Man, we're getting people today. I'm so excited. I love having people in chat, especially some of my regulars. It's a lot of fun. I love having just people to talk to. It gets really excited. But Dancer Sam, until then, I would just recommend just continue to make fun YouTube videos. That's what I do. Definitely just again, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's just kind of fun. Well, if anyone has any color suggestions on what color to make our wolf friend over here, let me know, because I'm open. This is really bothering me. I should probably fix this. I will worry about that as we continue working on this. LOL. But I like the idea of creating, you know, these fun characters on stream. And if anyone has any ideas or any input, I am most certainly down, because that is the fun part in this. There was I think I mentioned it earlier, that on an earlier stream, like on Sunday or something, I created some characters on stream, and I would like to turn some of them into plushies. They were these fun little Pride characters I worked on, like this cute little frog. We have this cute little rainbow peacock. Honestly, I think she could do without the flag, but, you know, it works. I got this lion, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm really proud of him. I really struggled with his mane and stuff like that, but he, free hugs. He was inspired by a plushie. Then this was the ultimate collaboration of different people's ideas. So definitely wild thing, but his name is Mr. Turtlebee. He got that name because at the start he looked like a bumblebee. So definitely some stuff, but Mr. Turtlebee is probably going to be an upcoming plushie video that I'm putting together. I have no idea how that's gonna how that's gonna look in the long term, but in the long term, it's probably gonna be a little bit before I can pump out that video. But like I said, I do have a few videos that I have in the backlog. And I think my next video is coming out Friday where I am testing a new craft thing that I haven't done before. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. And no problems, Wolfmaster. I've had my fair share of bad internet for a while until probably like 3 or 4 years ago. They finally upgraded it in my parents' neighborhood, which, weird to say, we were quite happy that they even brought good internet to us. We were using stuff that was like, if you guys are familiar with like dial-up, it's pretty much like a meme at this point for, you know, it's really old technology from like the 90s, but that was like the equivalency of like what we were dealing with, and we were in like 2020 still handling or still dealing with that sort of stuff. So I mean, it got to the point that, you know, if my mom is working from home and somebody else is on the internet, like only one person could be on at a time. Like that's how bad it was getting. Light pink for fur and blue ear tips. I like that idea. That's cute. That is something I will definitely do. I like that idea. Well, fur quote, because it's kind of a, I don't know. It's a, give me a second. But yeah, it's my first time actually attempting something like this, so right now looking at a reference art because that's just how we be here. Also, I should probably, I don't know, I'm just winging this. Before I was like copying and pasting the different sides, and now I got no idea what I'm doing. That's okay. Crystals aren't like straight or whatever anyways. Uh, but I can almost guarantee to everyone this will not become a plushie because this looks like a nightmare to craft. I'm going to try to make a sticker. It's so hard. Honestly, I think they're definitely hit or miss. Somebody said that these little dudes, like this one specifically, could probably be a sticker. I'm not gonna turn them into stickers. I know a lot of creators also like to like make stickers and use that to sell their stuff. Or like for merch or whatever. I have no intentions of that in my lifetime as of now. Maybe someday in the future when I'm mega big, but honestly, I like being a small creator. It's really nice. Because, you know, you kind of have like your core group of people that you talk to and stuff like that. Which I appreciate. It just feels, I don't want to say organic, but it feels nice. And I'm just talking out of my butt. I'm sorry. But what kind of sticker are you working on, Wolfmaster? Honestly, if I were to do stickers, that was something I was like contemplating for like a future convention. Maybe I would do something like that. Is maybe for a convention, depending on what I'm wearing. Because that would be like a fun little thing to the mix, you know? Also, I'm also completely losing track of this wolf, lol. Cause, oh. Okay, let's try to go work on this face, which, oh my god. Honestly, this may have to modify what I said, because it was supposed to be a wolf. I mean, what do you call it? I'm having the biggest brain farts today. It's supposed to be a fox. You watch My Hero Academia? Yes. So I have not caught up with the show actually. I don't know if my boyfriend's still on here or not, but he also has seen the show. He's really likes the anime, I think. And let me see, My Hero Academia. Yeah, I just love the whole show premise. Like it's great. And I think I dropped off after Area App. Sorry for spoilers, but there's a character in a later arc in season 5 that she gets rescued by Midoriya. And Absolutely loved that. And then I kind of dropped off for a while just because they hadn't put out new episodes at that point. But definitely something I do enjoy is that anime. And oh, you know what? It would be really fun to do fan art of that. That might be something for the future. I would be down. I would be definitely down. I'm trying to see like what characters I like. Let me just look at class. I forgot what class Midoriya's in. Midor or Deku, sorry. I keep calling him Midoriya. Is that his last name? Aryan Overhaul, yes. That whole little sector. Mm, okay, so I'm trying to find a picture of the whole class and I can't. Uh, I really like Ochako. She's really cool. I really hope she ends up getting out or dating Midoriya. Bakugo, I like him. He's fun. Um, definitely has a lot of anger issues, but he's a really cool character. Shoto Todoroki. I know he's a fan favorite. He's fun. Honestly, I feel like most of the cast is unforgettable, or most of the cast is forgettable. Mina, I like her. I guess I don't know. There's just a lot of characters. There's just a lot of characters. But yeah, Aerie, she's super cute. And one thing I found interesting was the whole idea of so there was conversations about how like as like each generation keeps having kids and how their children or their offspring keep having more powerful powers. Let me see, copy, duplicate. That they're becoming like mega OP. And so people, so obviously the next generation is gonna be more powerful than the current generation just because when you're combining all these quirks together. So like I used to like think about that I was like, okay, well, let's just throw out a ship. So let's just say that like Midoriya or Deku and Ochako both had a kid together. What kind of power would the kid have? Another one that I really liked was thinking of Ochako and a Bakugo. Not that I ship them, but I like thinking of the combinations of some of the different characters that if they were to have kids, like what kind of powers would come out of it. My Hero Academia manga ended in 2024. It did? Season 8 is coming this year and is the no! They can't just end that. Are they gonna My Hero Academia? What season are they up to now? 7? Oh, did they finish it? Oh my goodness. Please don't spoil the ending for me if you know what happens at the end of it. Okay. My Hero Academia season 8 confirms fall 2025 release with new trailer drop. Well, I gotta catch up then so I can be ready for the final season. I am sad. That show started like what, 2016, I think? I don't know when the manga started. But I enjoyed the show. I thought it was fun. Give me a second. Man, now I'm like sad. It was good. I don't even know like how the show would end. It would be fun. I mean, I don't even know if cause like Naruto obviously had a sequel show of Naruto's kids. And so what if they did that? That would be fun. But I don't know if they would ever actually do that just because I don't know, it's just how they be. But it would be fun to have like a sequel show or maybe like an epilogue of like where all the characters are. That might be like a fun little thing that they could do. Okay, now at this point I'm just kind of winging what the crystal part's gonna look like because I don't know, she looks like to be like a bunch of triangles. Uh-oh. But yeah, I really hope that they don't. I don't know. I feel like some franchises always like end on a good note and they don't need to be continued, and then you have like other franchises that's like, well, let's keep milking this because we can, which is terrible. Please don't ever do that if you create your own TV shows. If it's done, it's done. If Just live off the hype of something else. Create something else that's hype worthy. Don't milk the show. They had a spin-off called The Vigilantes. Is a prequel show to the main story. Ooh. You know what? I think I did hear about this. I think Aizawa and all of them were in it. I think, let me see. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm really wrong. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the prequel story of Aizawa and his classmates, being in My Hero Academia together. Do you know if they're gonna make a show about that? Oh, the run was from 2016 to 2022. I had no idea that this was even a. Despite not being a licensed here, uses his work to help others. That's interesting. You'll have to give that a look at because I'm kind of curious about that show. Um, Honestly, I'm just kind of winging this thing at this point. What's your favorite My Hero Academia cast? So I was going through that earlier. Let me just find a list of all the heroes. My Hero Academia cast. Honestly, there's too many at this point. Okay, definitely love Deku. Bakugo, definitely a really fun rival. Shoto, he's fine. I don't really have much of an opinion on him. I mean, he had a cool little story arc, and that's all I had. All Might, I'm a little hit or miss about him. Endeavor, do not care for him. Hawks, he's fun. He's a very fun guy. Uh, Ochako, Uraka, love her. Tenya Ida, don't particularly care for him. Momo, love her, great character. And I also thought that if her and Shoto Todoroki ever had kids, that the type of quirk that their kid would have would be like maybe like his ice powers, where like they just kind of make items, but it's out of ice. Like I thought that would be fun. And then maybe if they had like a son, maybe it'd be like a lava version of that with like, I don't know, or maybe fire. I don't know, maybe like fire weapons that they make. Red Riot or Kirishima, did not care for him. Froppy's fun, don't really have much of an opinion. Uh, Kyoka, Jiro, don't care for her. Denki, don't like him. Mina, she's alright. Cellophane, which he's like the tape version of Spider-Man, don't care for him. Yuga, he's the Can't Stop Twinkling guy that has like the thing that comes out of his belly button. Wild Dude, don't care for him either. Like most of the class I don't care about. Invisible Girl, keep forgetting she's there. Sugar Man, weird guy. Tomura, he's an interesting one. I like his quirk. All for One, don't care for him, which I know he's like the main main point of the show. Toga, I love her. Dobby, I have a friend that like wants to marry him. Shigaraki, I already talked about. Trying to think of like the main people that we see. Gran Torino, love that man. The guy that they're literally calling Mr. Principal, but it's the little rat principal guy. He's alright. Oh, my favorite villains. Okay. Definitely Toga. Toga, I really like her. She's fun. Dobby, I like her too. And then what's his face? Tomura. Those are probably like my three faves, just based on listing them off. I don't know who Moonfish is, but this dude has like teeth things. I don't really know if there's really any main heroes, but I mean villains. But yeah, those definitely those three. And then when it comes to Do you plan to rewatch My Hero Academia since you left off the anime? So there are some people, I think my boyfriend can do this, that if it's been a while since he's like watched the show, he can kind of pick up from where he last watched, I think, and kind of remember stuff or just kind of wing it or read something about it. Unfortunately, I'm one of those that if there's like a new season that's coming out, I kind of feel like I have to rewatch everything so everything's fresh in my mind. But I feel like with My Hero Academia, I've watched that like 3 or 4 times already. So I think I have a good grasp of it. I'd probably rewatch like some of the Aerie arc. I'd probably rewatch some of that just to kind of get caught up with some stuff. I'm sure there's some YouTube uh things out there that I could probably watch as like a reference to kind of help me like a recap or something. That might help me just to kind of get back into it. But I'm probably gonna start a rewatch because why not? But definitely like that's a very fun anime. I'm kind of sad that they're ending it. Oh, there's a girl that's a mushroom girl. She's fun. Some of the other class I don't care for. Oh, let's look at some of the pro heroes. Does anybody like? Oh, Mirio Lemillion. I loved him. He was so cute. Like not cute, but like I loved him. Sun Eater. He was fun. I didn't care for him too much. He was kind of getting weird. Aries fun. Fat Gum. He's the big guy that's like fat, but then like he uses up all his power and he looks fit. So what I like about him is I think I like his voice actor more, but his voice actor actually voiced a favorite character of mine in Naruto, which is Kiba. And that one got me really excited. In the manga, final spoilers for Deku and Uraraka do end up to. Yes, let's go! I hope they get babies or something. So there was talk about that if Uraraka and Deku were to have kids, chances are that the quirk that their kids would have would be based on Deku's like family heritage. So I think his mom was able to float small things and his dad had like fire breathing powers while Uraraka, has gravity power. So chances are their kid will have some kind of like gravity shifting type powers or sorry, quirk or what's another quirk that they would have? Honestly, I have no idea. Or maybe something with the fire. I'm not really sure how that would look. But definitely would be something fun to think about. Maybe one of these streams we can like start brainstorming like different quirks in preparation of season 8. But very happy. Do you know if Deku gets together with anybody? Not Deku, Bakugo. Or is he a single Pringle for the rest of his life? Honestly, he's probably better off being a single Pringle. Let's go hide this lion. Oh, nope, nope. I have no idea what to do with the rest of the face. But now you got me really excited. But don't spoil anything about Deku or how the show ends. But I'm happy to know that they do end up together. Let me see if there's any other characters. Miss Joke did not care for her. I think she makes people laugh as her quirk, and that was wild to me. I was like, alright, let that be a quirk, I guess. La Brava did not like her. Gentle Criminal, like that was a weird pairing. Very weird pairing. There was a guy that was a seal. That was weird. Definitely a weird guy. Bakugo is just actually a single Pringle. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but I'm happy that he's single because I feel like he might be verbally abusive to his wife or partner. The amount of characters I'm having like flashbacks to. So like I thought about it. So if I were to probably have my own quirk, it would be. So I really like cats, and there's that one character that has like a bunch of like. She looks like a bunny. Miriko, I think is her name. And I'd probably be like the cat version of that. I don't know if there's a quirk for that, but that would probably be me. That I would have like enhanced like physical abilities for like what you'd find on a cat, but you know, maybe have like night vision or something like that. I don't know. It's just something I thought about one time, or maybe something that's like creative or something. But I also realized I'd probably also maybe end up with a quirk that's not so much hero focused, and I might end up being like that one girl, which she's really fun. Forgot her name, but she's got like she does like a lot of the inventions and stuff like that. And I'd probably do something with that just because I like creating things and, you know, or maybe making hero suits. That might be something I would end up doing. But that's not 100% sure what I would end up like. But it would be fun to be in that universe. Maybe I'll create my own OC of that, of me being in that universe. Okay, so I think this is where the eyes are going to start. Let me see if there's any cat OCs. Cat, My Hero Academia, OC, quirk. And what I meant by cat quirk is not the, not the weird people that had that they like wore the cat suits, but they had like completely different powers. Let's see, quirk, cat, or flash step. Okay, so people do have that, but who cares? Her quirk is to give her partially cat abilities like keen sense of smell, great agility, speed, hair of ear and tail. Yeah, I don't know. With her quirk comes cravings of a normal cat as well. I'm just imagining this cat girl having that cat quirk, just eating cat food with a bunch of other cats. That would be funny. Yeah, I got no idea what I'm doing. Just making random. Okay, so we got the face almost. I gotta figure out where the eyeballs are going. I don't think I ever got this far. Can you do your own headcanons about their kids? About Deku and Uraka? So, definitely I can tell you, unless Deku passes on his the all for one quirk to to one of his kids, or if he has another successor. Like I said, the quirk would probably either be that they either inherit the quirk from Uraraka and her family, considering that Deku doesn't naturally have his own quirk, or they would have to be inherited from, you know, obviously both sides, or from Deku's side of the family. And we don't technically see his father, but we are told that he's got fire breathing, and then his mother's able to float small things, which is like a minuscule version of what Uraka can do. Let me see. But just give me a second. Let me try to find another reference real quickly, and then we'll go back to some headcanons. Let me see. So let me see. But yeah, so chances are, unless he's passing on the one for all thing, I don't think it's gonna happen. That's not a hereditary thing. I don't think that's even possible. Dancer Sam, you are all over the place. But uh, let me kind of come up with some of these things based on some headcanon stuff here. So honestly, I'm thinking that let me see. Think of I'm just trying to think of like what kind of quirks would actually. Let me get back to you on that. That's taking a bit of thinking. What is my favorite Team 8 from Naruto? So, growing up, I was a huge fan of Hinata. Like, I loved her character so much. And so she's probably my favorite, but I also love Kiba. He's another favorite of mine. And yeah, I think Kiba's fine. Like mega fine. Honestly, if she didn't end up working out with Naruto, I probably would have shipped her with Kiba. So definitely Kiba. Back to that My Hero Academia thing. Yeah, I feel like all of it would have to like gravity centric. I don't really know what firepower you would give somebody with gravity and fire. I'm gonna think. Maybe like they could do something like where they're creating like small gravity fields to like uh, I'm like I don't know. That's hard. I'm really trying to account for Deku's dad. I don't even know what like what like what her parents have. Maybe like one that could totally happen. So you know how Uraraka is able to like touch something and it makes it lighter? Maybe Deku's kids could have something that's like a meteor shower type thing that like they can touch something and then like when it gets lighter, then they can like set that on fire and then like make it go in a certain direction. That might be a fun quirk. So like a meteor related quirk, but it's more of, they touch an object and of course there would be limitations to like what it can be. And then like once it floats, it kind of sets on fire and then, then they can like mind control it to a certain somebody or something. Could definitely work as a villain quirk because it seems a little too destructive. Or it'd have to be like one of those with like guardrails or whatever. But that might be a fun one. Um, Trying to think. Another thing they might be able to do is something similar where they touch something and then let's just say that they're able to throw a car, touching the gravity stuff. They touch that and then they back to the whole thing about the whole meteor thing, that maybe that they can throw something and then upon impact maybe it explodes. That might be a fun little quirk idea. I think of what else. Yeah, those are the only ones I can think of. Just maybe something combining something like that. Let me see. Okay, that looks a little spooky. Let me see how this wolf thing is doing it. But does anybody out there have any headcanons for characters with their with what do you call it, My Hero Academia? Or if there's any other pairings you want me to try to headcanon, let me know. I can try to I'm thinking of another character from that show that I didn't like. Um Mineta, is that his name? He's the grape guy. Do not like him. Oh, you know what? A fun one between Mineta and Bakugo, if they were to have a kid. I know they're both guys, but if, one was a boy, one was a girl, a fun little headcanon might be that there's like sticky bombs that, they kind of grow out of your head, kind of like Mineta. And when you take it, you can stick it somewhere and then you set it off when you're ready. So it could definitely be like a sneak attack or whatever, or you can like, or maybe you have like a 10-second limit. That might be a thing. Yes and no to your attack. Sorry. Yes and no to your Attack on Titan question. I only watched the first half of season one back when it first came out, and then I never finished it. But I will say my two favorite characters from that show is definitely Levi and Sasha. I love Sasha because of the whole potato girl thing. She's just a very fun character. And then Levi I mean, who doesn't like Levi? He's fine. Okay. This is what I think we're gonna work with for our wolf dude. Uh, Whoopsie. This looks stupid. Oh, maybe it's because he's missing his nose. Hold up. But definitely a show I would like to watch. I believe the show hopefully is over. But from what I've seen of it, I liked it. It was fun. Um, Give me 1 second. Okay, that looks empty. Okay, we're just gonna keep that there. Honestly, let me see if I can erase that line. I don't really know if we need this here. But it's a good show from what I've seen. I know that it ramps up a lot kind of as the show goes on, but it's a really interesting premise. Attack on Titan is on Crunchyroll, and do you have Crunchyroll? I don't know if it's on Crunchyroll. Everything's on Crunchyroll these days. If that, I'm sure there's a streaming service that I have that has it. Attack on Titan. Honestly, that last anime I was telling you guys about earlier that I was watching, the My Next Life as a Villainess or whatever. Great show. It's on Netflix, I think. Is it on Crunchyroll though? It is indeed on Crunchyroll, and yes, I do have Crunchyroll. Sorta. Stealing it from my boyfriend. Let me see. Attack on Titan ended on in 2021. The anime ended in 2023. Man, it was only 2 years ago. You know, I remember the big hype around season 4 coming out. It was wild how many people were getting like super into it. But it was really fun to see, you know, everyone getting hyped for it. Bear with me a second. I try to troubleshoot my own. Yeah, I gotta find more shows to go watch. I've been itching to find stuff. I'm right now watching some reality TV stuff on Netflix, and it is sad. I need to find other things to watch. I truly need to find other things to watch. Like, I don't know, just these days, just everything seems like there's nothing to watch anymore. But then I keep, you know, having conversations like this, and this looks more like a wolf. I'm almost okay with that. Whatever. Okay. So we are going to start the coloration process. Group. Okay, let's flatten. But it's crazy knowing how many anime have actually ended. Like they were huge, like in their heyday, and wild that, you know, a lot of shows are ending. There's another show that I do want to watch, which is Demon Slayer. I only watched like the first 15 episodes. This was like 2021 when I watched it, and I think there's so much for me to catch up on. My friend's been hounding me to go watch it. So I should probably get to doing that because I think there's a cosplay we may want to do as a group at some point. Do you plan to rewatch Attack on Titan anime soon? It wasn't on my plan list, but the fact that you mentioned it will get me going on that. Did you know that there's an Attack on Titan anime that's like a junior high? It was like a spin-off show, and it was kind of dumb. Oh, it's a manga too. Yeah, it's like super dumb. I don't even have like original. Okay, so there's only 12 episodes. That's wild that it's had 11 volumes that stretch from 2012 to 2016. Which is funny because the anime ranged from 2015, October 2015 to December 2015. Wild. It would be fun to do like an Attack on Titan cosplay group thing. I might do that with some of my friends. It's fun to like dress up in cosplay when you're like with your friends and stuff like that. We were I think the like 2 conventions I went to this year, the plan was to do group cosplays. It only worked out for one of the conventions, which was from Spy X Family, which very fun anime if you haven't seen it. Then we were supposed to do characters from Valorant, for a gaming convention that we went to, which I've vlogged both of those anime or those conventions. I still haven't edited them completely. But what do you call it? But yeah, we were supposed to do like a group cosplay from the video game Valorant, and that kind of fell through. My friend ended up doing it like the next day because we were filming like a small music video for her at the convention because another friend of hers, who's kind of my friend now, is like a music producer, and wild experience. So really, we spent the first 2 days like filming some of her stuff, and so she didn't end up cosplaying as the Valorant character until Sunday. But I was only gonna cosplay my Valorant character, which is Killjoy, on Saturday. So, but each day did something fun on it was DreamHack, which is a gaming convention. I had never heard of it until my friend told me about it. And the what do you call it? The main I'm sorry, I'm having big old brain farts. The day one I went as what did I cosplay as? I don't remember. Anyways, day 2 was Killjoy, and day 3 I was dressed up as Mimikyu from Pokemon. What was day 1? Oh, day 1 I went in my shark costume. For people that don't know, I actually own a shark costume where it's a shark costume. Have you seen Bungo Stray Dogs? I've never even heard of that. I'm gonna Google you, bestie, because that feels like that's a niche anime. Oh, for some reason I thought it was really like dog related. You know what? I felt like someone mentioned BSD recently. I don't know where. The series follows the members of the Armed Detective Agency. Ooh, man, you have some fun anime. I may have to start going to you for anime recommendations. Is it a manga or is it just? Is it an? Oh, when I googled it, it was an anime. I mean, it just showed a manga. Honestly, I prefer the art style from the anime over the manga. Wild, I've never really even heard of this. Sounds like a really fun anime concept. Have you seen it? Is it any good? I'd be willing to give it a shot. Both manga and light novel. Okay. Yeah, not too familiar with the whole thing of it, but I'm down to learning more about it. Okay, so you said for the main part of the quote unquote wolf or whatever is um so it's light sakura pink. Okay, let me go Google light sakura pink so we can actually light sakura pink. Ooh, there's some like cute dishware that's that color, and I love it. That light. Okay, so we're going for like this cute little cherry blossom color. Can I steal you? Okay, so we're stealing this Pantone color. This is probably the closest that we're gonna get. I heard that it's either the what was it? I think it was either the actual like color swatch that's like expensive for some reason, or maybe it's the actual color to like use it. But there's something that's like expensive for some reason, and I never understood why. Oop. Sorry, I am all over the place. Also, hello again, Donut Girly. How are you? I think one of your friends, Bean Animal Jam, hopped onto my comments and asked me to draw their characters, so I'm adding them to my to-do list of characters. And I still have to draw your other friend that has the little chihuahua-looking dog thing, whatever you call it. Okay, and then what was the other color you said? You said blue? And then then blue for the ear tips. I have this nice light blue, maybe. It's giving me like cotton candy vibes, and I love that. So woo! This was a bad idea. Let's see if I can actually, let me see, that's not what I wanted. Oh, it does work. So the brush I've used sometimes doesn't actually work for me to color, like color drop. This is honestly like a surprise to me. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. But that means I don't actually have to sit here and actually color it in, which I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I like to color my pictures like they're coloring books. I think that's probably my favorite part of actually drawing is the actual coloring part, because I feel like I'm coloring in a coloring book. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I just spilled my tea. Hold up. That's no bueno. Have you seen Bleach? No, I have not seen Bleach. I don't know if that's an anime I'm ever gonna actually watch. I don't particularly like the art style. I feel like back in the day, the top three like anime everybody talked about was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. And there's just something about One Piece and Bleach I just can't get into. First of all, now I hear that the pacing is awful in what do you call it? In One Piece, but that's a whole other issue. But I know nothing about Bleach. Actually, I changed my mind. I might consider Bleach. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know if that's something I could ever actually. Oh, give me a second. Sorry, so I guess my friend's wife said decided to tell my friend that I am streaming, which I'm okay with. Let me see. Sorry about that. Wi-Fi went out. That is okay. I've had Wi-Fi go in and out before, so I get you. Bleach is available on Hulu. Perfect. I love watching my stuff or watching stuff on Hulu. The version that my parents have is one where we would actually have to what do you call it? I'm having a brain fart where we had ads on it and that was atrocious. So now the one that me and my boyfriend have is one where we don't actually need to what do you call it? We don't actually need to like we don't have ads, which is great. So very happy about that because I hate ads. Who doesn't hate ads? But I'd be willing to give it a try and giving my opinions on that. It's just for some reason something One Piece I couldn't get into. Let me see. It aired from 2004 to 2012. Okay, wow, that ran for a while. I feel like Naruto's never gonna die. um, there we go. That's such a pretty pink color. Good idea, Dancer Sam. Good idea for color. And then we'll do like the little blue tip thing. I feel like making the eyes white for our fox slash whatever this is character. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to do shading on this. Because to answer you, I have no idea. But yeah, no, definitely I'll consider Bleach. I'll give it I'll try and see if I like it. Feel like we'll see. I don't know why I never got into it to begin with, like at all. Oh well. Okay. We're gonna start doing like the little fun blue tips. I hope this blue's okay. Definitely giving me like cotton candy vibes right now. Okay, then we are going to do a clipping mask. Do you have any other anime recommendations? Anybody out there? I love anime, so. Oh, this is pretty. I love that. Okay. I can dig this. Okay, so I did merge that down. Okay, I have no idea how we're going to shade this or even how to shade crystal things, but let's just go in and just color some of this. Uh-oh. Ooh. Yeah, white eyes were the move. I don't know what color to do the nose. Maybe like a dark pink? That's kind of a fun color. Okay. Let me Google crystals. Let's see if there's any other anime things. So at my job, we actually have a movie list going on, and essentially what that is there have been movies that I should have seen. I feel like I haven't seen half the movies on the list because they predate my existence, which was the year 2000. So obviously, that's kind of my thing. But there still have been movies I should have seen. And so some of those movies are stuff we've had this list going on for like almost 3 years now, and I barely made a dent into it, which is rather sad. Let me see if I can actually pull up my movie list and see if anyone has seen them out there. We can sit here and cringe together, but a lot of these I was like, I haven't even heard of half these movies. Now, some of them were probably things I should have seen, but my mistake. Okay. So we have 1984, which I did read the book. I do like that. The book. I just haven't seen the movie. 16 Candles, which I did see a spinoff of that was put on Disney with Debbie Ryan. And so I kind of know the premise of it, but that's all right. Three Amigos, I know nothing about. Airplane, don't know what that movie's about. Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. There is a caveat. I have seen Back to the Future 1, but I have not seen 2 and 3, so I feel like it only makes sense to watch 1 if you're going to watch the other two. There is a movie called Big with Tom Hanks in it. No idea what that's about. Blazing Saddles, don't know what that is. Boondock Saints, don't know her. Castaway, Clockwork Orange, don't know that. Clue, I feel like I've seen Clue. Hold up. Nope, never mind. I've not seen that movie. I was thinking of the girl that wears like the yellow plaid shirt. That might be Clueless, maybe. Dark Crystal, I have seen the memes. It is a terrible looking movie. Die Hard, which there is controversy about whether that is a Christmas movie or not, but it takes place during Christmas time. Still haven't seen it. Let me just kind of skip to some of these. Idiocracy, I have seen that movie. That one's a really good movie. Would definitely recommend that one. Joe Dirt, don't watch that. It's a terrible movie. The only reason why it came up was because there were conversations at my job about the younger generations growing mullets. And I'm sorry, I think mullets are ugly. I don't like them. I mean, I think they can be tastefully done, but the ones that these guys are getting, like, I don't know. It's just the whole thing. I'm not for it. Let's see. We got John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4. I haven't seen any of those movies. The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, haven't seen any of that, which I was told I need to watch. The Matrix, I have watched the first half like 3 or 4 times, and then I would fall asleep. Honestly, I hear that the second half is more of the action-y part of it, and I don't particularly care for that. Keep in mind, I'm skipping like most of these things because I've never even heard of these. Mr. Bean, that was when I was told I needed to watch. Office Space, really good movie. It's more of like a comedic thing in like an office setting. Pretty in Pink, haven't seen that one. I feel like most of these films are more like dude flicks, is what somebody called it. So they started giving me like women movies or like chick flicks or something to watch. So we have like Pretty in Pink, The Princess Bride, which very good movie. I literally told my mom about how, you know, about how I was being chastised for not having seen what do you call it? Pretty in Pink. No, I'm sorry, not Pretty in Pink, Princess Bride. And I told my mom about it. She's like, "You haven't seen the movie?" And I'm like, "This is your fault." We have Terminator on here. I have seen Terminator, but not 2. I was told I need to watch Terminator 2 and all the other movies. Top Gun's on here. I have not seen that movie. Specifically, the 1886 version. We got a bunch of other movies in here. Beetlejuice. So, the funny story about Beetlejuice is I didn't see the original until I saw Beetlejuice. I saw the musical first, then I saw Beetlejuice 2, and then I saw Beetlejuice. And there are obviously some clear differences between Beetlejuice and let me see. Oh wow, I missed a few messages. I'm sorry. Hello Stardom. How are you? So the whole thing with Beetlejuice is I feel like Beetlejuice 2 fits better with the musical if you were to put it in a certain order. So putting Beetlejuice, like the musical with Beetlejuice 2, I just feel like it flows better because you focus more on Lydia. In the original Beetlejuice, you focus more on like everything else, which is great. Like I enjoyed the original, but I really liked the musical because it focused more on Lydia. And then the sequel obviously focuses on Lydia's kid, so it just felt like it made sense in a sequential thing. But when it comes to what do you call it? I don't know. I just didn't like the flow of the 1 to 2. But then I finally did get around to watching Beetlejuice, and I liked the movie. I think it was a cute movie. Definitely a classic. I don't think it actually needed a sequel, but definitely an interesting take on all of it. Sorry, I keep getting super sidetracked. Anyways, hello, Stardom. Let me see. Bleach had sequel, Thousand Blood, thing final, which the studio has improvement on lighting. Nice, okay. So is that the last of Bleach that they're ever gonna have? Or what's up with that? I'm doing great. Tomorrow I get to go on a 3-day camping trip with my family, so I'll be come back to your lives until I'm back. So I am doing one more live for the week, which is happening tomorrow. I think we're doing that one from like 6:30 to 8:30-ish, I think. I'm not 100% sure on the times, but we're doing it a little earlier tomorrow. But then from Friday to Sunday, I'm actually going to be out of town visiting some family out in Florida, and then I'm actually going to a concert out there. So we will not be live for a few days. That's why I was trying to get as many lives as I could in for this week, and then we will resume, believe, sometime next week. So no need to worry about you missing anything. Just, busy schedule and stuff. Kind of sad I won't be able to do it over the weekend, but I don't want to be at my aunt's apartment and being like, "Hey guys, let's start streaming," while she's trying to do stuff in the background. I think she'd actually end up having a heart attack about that. Sorta. Ba-da-da-da. Okay, so I'm seeing that some crystals are like their shadows or just like a more saturated version of their stuff. So I'm gonna try to attempt to emulate that, I suppose. Don't know how exactly well that's gonna work, but Ruh-roh. But I hope you have fun camping. Hope you'll have fun. Also next week I won't be able to. I'm going on a church summer camp trip. That's fun. Yeah, this is definitely the time for summer camps and camping. I will tell you, I will never go camping again. I went camping in the middle of July here in Texas, and the lakes where I live are all man-made and they're gross and disgusting. And the reason why I say that was because I went swimming in the lake one time, didn't wash it until I got home, and I had to do multiple shampoo sessions in one shower session, and it still wasn't good enough. I had to do that multiple times during the week, which was atrocious. I was very not happy about that and haven't gone camping since. This was like 2 summers ago. I would consider glamping, which is like glorified or glamorous camping, which is like a lot more like a me type thing. As for summer camp trip, I love camp, well, kind of. So I was a camp counselor for 2 summers, which I actually did a story time that I filmed. I haven't edited that. I swear I need to stop filming videos and actually get sitting around to editing because it's just how we do stuff. But anyways, it was so I was a counselor for 2 summers, and it was a lot of fun dealing with all the kids. The age group I dealt with was like 5 to 10-year-olds, and let's just say those kids have their own set of drama. And I'm like, but I think most of the drama came more from the counselors than anything. But if anybody like starts reaching like, like when you start like hitting that age of like 15 or 16 and you feel like you kind of like want to be in the camp environment, I would definitely look at like CIT opportunities because that's really fun. It kind of gives you like some like, what do you call it? I don't want to say like tricks or whatever, but definitely it's a fun experience. And then once you kind of hit, when you're like 18 is when I think camps start taking counselors. Like specifically the type of counselor I was for an overnight camp, which was very fun. I loved overnight camp. The only thing that sucked was I just felt like we got a lack of sleep. And if you're used to like doing like like a very involved skincare or hair care routine, that is not the place you want to be doing that. So definitely a word of warning for that. But it's really fun. And honestly, I think overnight camp's a lot more fun than day camp. Like being a counselor. Well, first of all, you get to, if you can, trying to find an overnight camp that's away from like where you live is definitely a pro and very fun as well. That's just, I don't know. I have so many experiences, but yeah, I think my story time has more to do with, more of the counselors. And I got to rewatch that because I don't know if I actually told the story how I wanted to. But yeah, there was so much drama with the staff, and I feel like that's what's bound to happen too is when you're kind of living together for a few months. By the way, also this was during the pandemic too. We were one of 2 overnight camps here in Texas where can you put your hand on the tablet? What? On your drawing tablet without it doing something? What? Like what? Can you put your hand on the drawing tablet without it doing something? What does that mean? Well, anyways, have a good night. But back to the whole let me see. I'm sorry, I am all over the place. I am missing chats. What's your favorite My Hero Academia dub VA with Fat Gum? I'm not understanding your question. I think. Unless you're saying besides Fat Gum, because I really do like that voice actor. Let me see who some of the voice actors are. I'm really bad at like knowing voice actors from anime. Voice actors, My Hero Academia. Let me see if I actually recognize any. I think flat out tell you, I may not know most of these people. The one that does Shoto Todoroki, he's pretty iconic. I think the one that there's one girl that plays a character that I'm very familiar with. I think it's Cammy. Her voice is Cammy. I think she's pretty iconic. I like her. She's been in a lot of anime. Mad respect to her. Yeah. But yeah, Fatgo, like right away I could tell who that was from like just his voice. When you put your Like when you put your arm on a paper to draw, can you put your hand on a tablet without it doing something? Like when you put your arm... Oh, I see. I think I understand. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But did you mean like... Because sometimes when I've done stuff, like it'll start... It's not happening right now, but like when it starts making like random things with my arm. I've had that happen where sometimes I'm doing something and it starts undoing stuff for me. That's been a thing. But if you're referring to like how you're on paper and sometimes like it smudges, I don't think I've actually had that happen with my tablet before. But for the most part, it doesn't do anything really. Like it doesn't really do marks. If anything, it's just more of my pencil that's kind of making the marks, and sometimes I have like random marks that will appear, unfortunately. But if I misunderstood, please let me know and I will do my best to try to understand your question. And then but yeah, what's nice about some voice actors in anime is when their voice is so iconic to the point of you can actually like pick up their voice in multiple anime and you're like, I know who that is. Like Bryce Papenbrook. I think he's actually in My Hero Academia too. But he's like, I think there's a meme at this point where people are like, what anime voice do you want as your lead? But yeah, he's really good. There's another one that she's really iconic in a lot of is in a lot of anime. Um uh let's see, looking at Fairy Tail. Uh Jeremy Lee, I'm pretty sure I said her name completely wrong, but she's in a lot of anime too. Like if you guys have seen SAO Sword Art Online, she does Asuna. If you guys have seen Fairy Tail, she voices Lucy. So I just feel like she plays a lot of leads in anime too. And definitely iconic for for anime. I really love their works. So they're definitely people I follow. And then obviously I had no idea that Naruto's voice actor in the English dub is a girl. That was wild for me to find out. It's not something I thought about. But definitely crazy that, you know, it's a girl. And I think those are the ones that kind of surprised me. Like if you guys have seen a Fairly Odd Parents, like the older cartoon, it's wild that, you know, that some of these dude characters are played by girls. But I think what somebody said was that it's kind of hard to cast boys to play some of these dude roles because guys have such deep voices as they start maturing. And so it definitely makes them hard to cast. And so that's why you have women that do it. Let me see. Sakamoto Days is on Netflix. Is that another anime? Dude, I'm just gonna need you to like send me a list of just anime so I have stuff to get through. Just like how my job has a movie list going on, I'm gonna have an anime list going on. Sakamoto Days. Oh, that's a cute art style. What's the show about? Let's see, blah blah blah. The story revolves around Taro, a retired legendary hitman who has settled into a quiet, mundane life as a family man. Does he have a family? However, his peaceful days is disrupted when former enemies and colleagues from his hit days come seeking revenge. To protect his family and loved ones, Sakamoto must use his exceptional combat to face off against a variety of adversaries while trying to maintain his ordinary facade. That sounds amazing. Levi from what's that anime? Attack on Titan. That's funny. Who did he voice? Actually, no, don't tell me. I will figure this out. Levi, voice actor. It's oh nope. Let me see. Matthew, what's his face? Ooh. Wait, so Sakamoto, this one dude. So who's the big, like, he's got white hair with a mustache. He looks like a really squishy guy. Is that the same voice actor? If so, that's wild. That's funny. There's one the voice actor, there's a video of him on I guess Reddit or a picture that they said that he got really into character where he's like wearing the apron with eating ramen. That's funny. Yeah, I'll definitely have to give that a watch. Yeah, I'm just gonna need a. I'm gonna be looking back at the stream just to get my anime recommendations. I have to write that out, and then we'll talk about them as I get through them. Since I'm a little slow when it comes to, but some of these animes are also very long as well, very long, but definitely worth it. Okay, I have no idea, but yeah, I really want to get back into more anime. This whole reality TV stuff I'm watching on Netflix, not fulfilling. It's awful. It's not even good stuff. Not even the good stuff. I'm just, honestly, I was just trying to find something to watch in passing, and I forgot how much I miss anime. Honestly, I've been on and off trying to learn Japanese, and you would think that with the amount of times I've gone to Japan that I would at least do my best to try to, you know, pick it up again. It just hasn't happened, but I intend to. I was planning on doing like a crash course in Japanese stuff. That's the thing that I just feel like sticking with one language is what do you call it? Like learning one language is definitely, I don't know. There's just so many languages I want to look into. And I've mentioned before, my mom is Cuban and Puerto Rican. And so you would think that growing up in a Hispanic ish household, my dad, he's Greek, that, I would have picked up some kind of Spanish. And I can have like a basic proficiency, but it's definitely not proficient. Like I could probably talk with somebody for 2 seconds and call that a day. But I'm not at all great at it. It's just, part of it. Where would you recommend looking for artists who draw characters? Are you talking about for like tutorials or are you talking about like for commissions and stuff like that? Which speaking of which, so the wildest thing has been happening on Instagram and I have posted on DeviantArt a little bit, but DeviantArt's kind of dead. So we're just gonna disregard that. But it's happened on both platforms and I've posted some art stuff. Keep in mind, it's from my earlier stuff that I've been doing. I'm talking about like this dumpster fire stuff. Like this isn't great. It's fine for, me trying to figure out how to do art. But anyways, so yeah, so I was on Instagram and whatever, and I've had people reaching out to me about taking commissions. But unfortunately, there's been a whole scam going on like Twitter, Blue Sky, um DeviantArt, and what was the other one? Instagram and like all these other art things where people are reaching out to you to say, "Hey, do you do art commissions? Can you draw my son or my dog?" And then, then you'll tell them like what your prices are and they'll be like, "Cool, that's great." And then they will send you or you'll be like, "Okay, well, I take PayPal, Cash App, whatever you want to use." And then they'll be like, "Oh, I can't do that. Can you do check?" And then they start doing the whole check scheme where they send you a check, then the check bounces, and then you know then they're gonna ask you to go buy something for them. Like it's the whole thing. But I am interested in actually like talking to one of them and actually trying to see how far I can get for funsies. Because, but yeah, I had no idea that that was even a scam, which was ridiculous that that's even a thing. Anyways, I'll touch back on the whole scam thing in a second. But for commissions, honestly, a lot of artists are on Instagram or Twitter or Blue Sky, and a lot of them will post their services on there. Fiverr's another one. You'll find probably cheaper commissions on there. Another one that's been quite popular is something called VGen. You give me a second. I can actually let me see if I can. Let me see. I share my screen. Wrong thing. So VGen's another popular site, and what's good about this is that you pretty much need an invite code to be able to actually like sell your stuff on here. But I know this has become quite popular for people to do commissions and stuff like that. I mean, there are some pretty decent prices on here that you could definitely look at. I've also seen Reddit too. Reddit's kind of strange place to get your commissions, but do what you gotta do, I guess. But yeah, VGen's a fun place. But yeah, supposedly, or not true, that is. Commissions made easy. Get started. Ask a verified friend, joined VGen event. So yeah, so I mean, you kind of got to go through hoops. And what this kind of does is that this actually helps like eliminate, what do you call it? Like scammers and stuff like that. Because obviously you need to be more like well known, or you need to know an artist friend to kind of do that. Are you familiar with work for hire? I am not, but let me Google that real quickly. Work for hire refers to a situation where a work is created by an employee within a scope of their employment, or by an independent contractor under a written agreement or copyright. Okay, this is work for hire is, let me just put this back on me just because we're not actively drawing for a second. A work made, work for hire or work made for hire refers to the works of whose ownership belongs to a third party rather than the creator. Works whose ownership belongs. What does that mean? Sorry. Since I have to read these things a couple of times to figure out. Ownership belongs to a third party rather than the creator. Like, what third party? When it is created by an employee as part of the regular duties. So, like, if I work for a company, I'm just gonna throw out because I believe I understand the situation. So like, if you guys are familiar with Bratz, that was technically created within Mattel. The guy was trying to get it going, and then he, I guess, got fired, or whatever his case was, he ended up turning it into his own company, which is MGA or something now. And or like if I work for a game studio and I create art, technically belongs to the company and not yours. Am I understanding that right? I'm sorry. Work for hire. I believe that's the second scenario is I think what I understand it. Oh, what that means. Bear with me a second. I'm reading another thing here. If it's work for hire, the person who pays owns the work. Does not work for hire, the person. Oh, okay. So I kind of have a better understanding. Okay, so I guess it's like commissioning, taking commissions. I guess. So there was a TikToker. Oh, sorry. Let me see. Okay. So build a treehouse in someone else's backyard, and they asked and paid you. The treehouse belongs to them, not you. Okay, so yeah, so I kind of understand what that means now. Sorry, not familiar with the term. I'm still relatively new to the whole like art commissioning stuff. Not that I'm trying to get art commissions because I don't know what I'm doing, but so there was a TikToker that she pretty much creates makeup products, and so she pays people on Fiverr to I guess do the artwork for her. And obviously that, you know, she'll say, hey, I'm putting this on a makeup palette, you know, I need you to do the art, you know, and charge me whatever you need to for me to be able to put it on the packaging. Artists will come up with whatever, and then once they complete the art goes back to her. So technically it's now her stuff. She does whatever she wants with it, but she didn't technically create it. And that's what this is reminding me of. And it makes sense that they would technically own it as long as there's kind of credit given back to the person. You know, like if someone creates you a profile picture, obviously now you own it, but you know, kind of giving credit back to the artist, you know, is kind of, I guess, a nice thing. I guess it's not mandatory. I know a lot of people like like have. I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of brain farts tonight. It's I don't know. I think it just depends on like what the situation is. Kind of like the example I gave that like I create you a profile picture, you know, you commissioned me and you know, and I just say, "Hey, just give me credit for the profile picture, but it is all yours, you do you." I think it just depends on the terms and conditions, but you know, if I'm working as like an artist in a game studio, technically they own the art and they own all of that, which kind of sucks because sometimes there's no credit given back to the artist. And sometimes one thing I did notice about like the game industry that if you want to get anywhere, most of the time these well-known game studios want to know how many credits that you've been associated with games, and some game studios don't give credit to those artists. I've seen it all. But back to your question, what are your thoughts on it? Work for hire. I've still never I still never thought of it like you're commissioning somebody, and then like if I commission someone like the person that did my profile picture on YouTube, I did commission somebody to do that for me. And you know, technically I guess I own that art because technically it was a like a render of me. I mean it was supposed to be like a cartoony anime version of me with cat ears. And so she drew that up for me, and so technically I do own that. But it's like I don't know, that's such like a weird thing. It's not I'm like, at what point is it that I pay you to do something for me, but then you're like you still own it. So I don't understand that. I feel like it's wishy-washy depending on it, but I feel like most commissions from what I've seen are mostly you pay someone to do it and you know you own it at that point. So thank you for that question. That's very interesting and definitely bringing that to my attention. It's something I wasn't never thought about nor familiar with. So what are your thoughts on it? Have I seen Juju Kaisen? Uh, no. I want to. Really want to. I have yeah. Not familiar with it. I mean, I am familiar with the anime. I have not seen it. I would like to watch it. There's that one dude with white hair. I don't even know what his name is. Um, Satoru, whatever, the main dude. He's an interesting looking character, and that's why I want to watch it. Is because of him. I know definitely not a reason to go watch an anime, but who cares? I care. Gojo, is that his name? Then who the heck is Sato? Who did I just say? Oh, that's his first name. Gojo, okay. His last name, I don't like his last name. Gojo, that's a cool first name, sorta. Like a cool guy. I need an artist that can work for hire, but it's hard to get people to sign a contract for it. I need to protect myself as a brand manager. Interesting, okay. Need an artist that can work for hire. Really? I feel like, I mean, I'm sure there's like terms and conditions. I mean, as long as you're kind of upfront about it, because like it's like what I told you about that one artist that she does like anime. So she'll like go to Fiverr because I think that's where she gets all her stuff from is Fiverr specifically. That's how I found my artist who I'm kind of friends-ish with now. And she anyway, so that TikToker, she's got like a million followers on TikTok for selling her makeup brand. And she'll be upfront saying, I need anime art of this, and this for my makeup palette, and I'm going to be selling this commercially, you know. And some people have turned her away, and sometimes people will, you know, charge a premium for it. you know, obviously, because your stuff's going to be featured. And what kind of sucks about that too, because now that I'm remembering, is technically now that she's making, so let's just say that I'm just going to throw out, I commission you to make an art for a makeup palette, right? And so you give that to me, you charge me $500. You're only charging me that once, and then once kind of going forward, once I start getting the profits from the makeup palette, you know, it's all mine, you get none of the profits. And there was some talk about that, about whether that was fair or not. And I'm like, honestly, I'm like, that is up to you as an artist to, you know, whatever you charge, that is on you. It should not be up to, you know, people saying, well, it's not fair that you're not making any more profits after that because that's what the artist chose to charge. Unfortunately, when it comes to commercial use, artists will get a little, I don't want to say stingy, but obviously they want to get compensated for their work. What kind of stuff are you trying to do? An artist that can work for hire. But I mean, the worst thing you can do is go to Fiverr or, you know, I feel like the stuff I see on Instagram, Twitter, and whatever are more people that are getting like art of their characters and stuff like that. But if you're looking for more commercial stuff, I think Fiverr might be the place to check out. You might find stuff on like Instagram and Twitter and Blue Sky, but like I said, that just seems more for like the like personal use related stuff, and not so much trying to what do you call it? Not so much to like for commercial related stuff. I'm gonna go check out your channel now, Adventure Flavor. Strange name, by the way. We had a guy on a on Sunday that joined us named Cheese Bones, and he was trying to promote his music. Strange guy, very strange guy. Uh, but yeah, definitely, I would probably just go say check out Fiverr. And the good thing about Fiverr is that you're kind of protected to a point. Like you're not gonna, what do you call it? You shouldn't deal with give me a second. Okay, here we go. Go to channel. Life never tasted so sweet. Life is an adventure. I need a character illustrated of my character, but I need full ownership of all aspects, so there are clear legal boundaries between me and the artist that defines the scope of work. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that would have to be something that you would probably, honestly, let's go check out Fiverr. Also, interesting channel. What kind of content do you plan on putting out there? I'll subscribe to you for fun. Let me see. Give me a second. Okay. So like I'm not even sure how you'd go about Googling that. Like I'm just gonna throw out this person for a second. This person here, Rain. Apparently she's got two things in the queue. Um, see what you'll get. Send me a high quality picture of you or whatever. Check out. But yeah, so I mean they'll have stuff right here that's like commercial use license included, but you would have to like check that and be like, hey, you know, I need like for a fact that you're not gonna sue me for using this, you know, and I don't know how they go about that or you know if you can get them to sign something or whatever your plan is. But yeah, this is like an example of, you know, stuff I've seen on Fiverr. Now, again, you might pay a, like I guess you're not paying extra, but some things you might have to pay a little extra for commercial use. I've seen that as like another tier. Um, I will create AI. All right. Well, we're not going to touch AI with a 10-foot pole. I'll create storyboards for you. Why is the fact that people are selling AI art, I'm like, I can just go to ChatGPT and have it generate art for me. Obviously, I am not about that life because you guys see me doing my own art stuff, but um character art. I'm just gonna throw out this person. I don't know anything about them. This is a cute little, I guess, VTuber. I have no idea. Okay, so you would still get like a commercial use for this, theoretically. But I know that like sometimes they may like not check this, and so it's like, well, but yeah, probably check out Fiverr. Fiverr's really good, and sometimes you'll get a pretty quick turnaround, and you can see reviews and things that they've done. Okay. The answer, Sam. I will get back to you on your bleach thing. Sorbet the Frosty Gamer. Ooh, that's a fun name. I'm assuming you like ice cream or desserts or whatever. Oh, your little character's so cute. Let me let me share this with everybody. Look how cute this is. How are you doing it now with your character? Do you have like commercial rights to it or something? I am quite curious. I'll subscribe to you here too. I'm not really one to, well, I say I'm not really a gaming YouTuber person, but I'm actually working on making video games as a side thing, but the video game studio is destroying their game for money. Interesting. I see. So you've been doing all sorts of stuff. I love your character's design. This is such a cute little design. You're on Twitch too? Good for you. I like your stuff. I mean, I haven't seen your stuff, but definitely a vibe. Okay, I heard my thing go off, but I don't have a message, so I don't know if my thing's just being finicky. It happens. Back to what you said, Dancer Sam, Ichigo, Rukia, Chad. Who are these people? Oh, are they from Bleach? I gotta. Are those like the main characters? Oh, okay, yeah, they look to be the main characters. They're super pretty too. I love the girls in the anime. They're really pretty just from looking at pictures. So Bray, the Frosty Gamer. You know, I just love how you're going like full on like ice cream. What do you call it? Like full on ice cream theme for your YouTube channel. But yeah, just to solidify the whole thing I was talking about, definitely check out Fiverr. That's kind of what I would recommend. VGen might be another good one too. I don't know if there's scammers on Fiverr. I believe you're protected, but VGen, it's really hard to get scammed on there because you obviously need you need to have like stuff out there. So definitely stuff. Thank you for the smiley fist. Yeah, no, you're out of because I know that there's a lot of people on the internet that do like what do you call it? Like they have their own like sonas of themselves, but yours is definitely out there. Definitely have not seen something like that, so points for creativity. But how does your current setup work with your character? Because I see you have a little. Oh no. Well, I just saw your latest video from 5 days ago. I'm sorry that you got copyright striked and the fact that it was removed. I know that all too well from my childhood of posting copyrighted stuff. I don't know what the reasoning for your stuff was behind it, but also love that you're getting a lot of engagement. That's not what I get these days when it comes to my own YouTube videos, but definitely going on live streams have been helping me a lot. I also saw you're on Twitch too. Not really a Twitch person per se. I am a little bit, but I'll give you a follow on there. You're gonna see it's a really strange name. It has nothing to do with my current YouTube channel, so. What does your thing say? Hold up. About this is the absurd story of a chocolate-covered scientist. Love that. Sellers on Fiverr only lend you the rights to the artwork. That's why I made the contract. Oh, I see. And artists aren't willing to sign it? That sucks. But like, what is your... But like, I don't see what the problem would be for you to use the... Like, the thing on YouTube and stuff like that. Is the adventure flavor an adult? This is the first time I've ever spoken with a adventure flavor, but based on the 2 seconds I heard of their video, they are either an adult or very much a late teen, which we've had all sorts of that here and there. Yeah, definitely I'll give your videos a watch. I'm quite curious. What kind of content do you like? What kind of video game related stuff do you do? Also, I'm sorry that you got copyright struck. That sucks. But yeah, I am really curious about the whole setup between you and because obviously you must have gotten your arts from somewhere for your later-ish videos. Or like your recent ones. I make tutorial and gameplay. Okay. Yeah, definitely. What's the term? Evergreen content is the way to describe that. Okay, let me try to Gaussian blur this. But curious about VGen now. So nobody on Fiverr is actually willing to like sign a contract. I'm just throwing out there if I ever did commissions and some person came up to me about having full content rights, so I'd be like, go for it. As long as you let me use it with like a portfolio or something, like you are more than... And I don't even know if I'd use it at that point. Like it's all yours. But I'm curious about the whole fact that if you are trying to like what are you trying to do with it long term? Because I'm like, if you're using it commercially to like make money from YouTube or Twitch or any of these social media platforms, I'm like, you should technically have full ownership at that point for that. I don't really know at what point you would, that they could come after you. Like if you tried to sell the character or your person, you know, could they come after you for that? So I'm not really sure what the end point is of how you would, I don't know. Well, there have been things like VTubers. I'm so relatively new to the whole VTuber realm and understanding that. But I know that there have been some controversy that if there's been an artist that, you know, kind of rigged and did the art for me for a VTuber and I want to sell it, apparently you have to like go back to the VTuber creator to like be able to sell that. But supposedly, I don't know, there's all sorts of terms and conditions for that, which is wild to me. It's not that they're not willing to sign it, but most people are using AI tools or don't understand what a work for hire project is. I just want Sorbet the Frosty Gamer to be fully mine legally. No, fair enough. Fair enough. And, you know, and I get that you don't want to have that issue. Let me see about the whole AI tool thing. Yeah, that's another problem and on itself, and I've had my own fair share of opinions with AI, and it's not good ones. But that's, yeah, I'm like, it should not be used in any process when you're doing commissions, unless it was like what I showed you guys up on Fiverr, where people are actually selling AI generated art, and at that point I will just get a license for ChatGPT or one of these things and just buy it or make it myself. Like that's where I'm at. Like there have been people who call I've heard two terms, AI artist and generative artist. And I'm like, you're not an artist. You're just a glorified prompter is, I guess, what I would call you, because you're not doing much of the legwork. Now, yes, I can understand that I'm not backing them up, but sometimes in order for something to look good, you may have to go through, be good at writing set prompts, but even then, it's like low level things. But no, you're good. And thank you. Somebody recognized it as a fox. Somebody recognized it as a fox. It was supposed to be, but it looks like a wolf to me. No, you're good. I don't mind getting into these tangents. It's fun to sit here and just talk about these sorts of things. Like that's all that this stream stuff is where we just talk about things and have fun. Like that's just what I'm here to do is vibe. But maybe check out VGen, or I don't want to say go to Reddit, but like say help. Commercial. What are we talking about? Commercial. Art, maybe? Full body commission. Full body commercial commission. And like, there's gotta be things out there where like these companies use like art of things and they are able to publicize it and make money off of it. There's gotta be something out there. I'm good. How is your night going? I know you're not talking to me, but my night's going pretty all right. And thank you again about the whole wolf thing. What am I talking about? My fox thing. The original idea came from that this past weekend I was doing an art stream on Sunday morning, and I was just creating random characters on here, and I was like, well, what if I just start, like creating a character while on stream, and so I had a poll earlier where I had people vote, and I didn't think this one was actually gonna win, and the reason for that is because I didn't have a clear idea of what this was gonna look like, and I'm still figuring it out, but that's all right. It's supposed to be a crystal, brain fart. A crystal wolf is the species that this one is. How is my boyfriend? That's a fantastic question. I haven't really spoken with him too much since when he jumped on earlier during the stream. But he's right now, I think, or was programming a video game that we're working on together. It's for a small game jam that we're doing stuff on. So we're right now working on the prototype stuff, and I just need him to finish up his stuff. I finished up my part of the art related stuff. And then we're actually going to go full force on the actual game development. We have till about August 15th to have it completed. Oh, he's here. Hello. That's how he's doing. You guys are funny. What is the name of the fox? That's a great question. Any name suggestions? For some reason, I'm thinking of the name Glacier for some reason. It's giving me Glacier vibes, but it's pink, so. Fox names. Let's Google fox names. Vixen's a fun one, but that's more for like red fox. Pink fox names. Let's see what's out there. Pink foxes make me think of Bath and Body Works. What about maybe Cranberry or Sakura? Blush. Clary, short for Clarice from the Nutcracker. Rose or Rosie. That's kind of a fun name. Rosalie. Iceland. That's a fun name. Based on things I've seen. That was just from a Reddit post. I was just reading things off of that. Let's Gaussian blur this a little bit. Nope, I hate that. You know what? I think we're just gonna keep it how it is. Maybe I'll Gaussian blur it a little bit. Yeah, I could live with that. Okay, clipping mask, there we go. I think that's fine. I don't know how I feel about this. What if I just blend it out manually? Yeah, I think blending it out a little more manually feels a little better. Honestly, I have no idea. Anyways, any name suggestions? I'm really bad at coming up with names. Honestly, last my stream on Sunday turned into I was working on a turtle and somebody thought he was a bee, so now his name is Mr. Turtlebee. Can we name it Crystal the Fox? I'm down. I'm down. Everybody, this is Crystal the Fox, named by Adventurer Flavor. Still love that name. I'm down. It looks like she's got blush going on by the cheeks. I'm okay with that. I do want to try to add a little bit of highlights, not that I know how that's gonna look. What happens if I actually... I hate that. We're just gonna keep her at her. Ew. I like messing with these different things to kind of... Bro, what just happened? Just to like, you know... I don't know, give her some color. I do want to kind of make her eyes glow a little bit. That was something I planned after I started doing the thingy. Uh-oh. No. But yeah, I hope you're able to find an artist that can work with you like that. Because that's... I know how it can be difficult for you to try to find someone that is willing to do that. Especially giving you full ownership like that. I'm like, I wouldn't see the problem with someone signing that as long as, you know, you theoretically just gave credit being like, hey, so-and-so did this for me, but I own this. And even then, it's like, you don't technically need to give credit because you could just be like, you know, I don't know if I hate this or not. Restore. I had an idea and it's not working. Oh, that's kind of fun. This is kind of fun. Have you seen Fruits Basket 2019 or the 2000s? I did see the 2000s one, and I did watch most of the 2019 one. And I loved both. The one from the 2000s will forever have a special place in my heart, but I love the animation style of the newer one. I think it's so cute, and I just love the whole show. The whole premise of the Zodiacs and everything with it is just really cute. I'm definitely gonna try VGen out. I won't mind giving credit. I just don't want 10 years down the line the artist wants the art back and I get sued for not taking the proper steps. No, and I'm glad that you're covering all your bases now. That's definitely a way to go about that. Like I said, I don't know much about VGen, but I know that it's become quite popular between the Reddit, or not the Reddit, between the Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram communities that people have been going on there. And you should be less likely to get scammed via that. Because for the most part, they should be reputable people on there. I mean, you have to literally go through hoops to be able to post your art on there. Um, but yeah, I mean, however you decide to go about, you know, sharing the credit or not, I'm like, that is up to you. Or like I said, that's, but no, I'm glad that you are trying to protect yourself because that can definitely cause problems. I haven't seen it personally. Oh, sorry. Um, but yeah, it's just, yeah, no, it's definitely good to protect yourself. It's you don't want those problems. And I wonder if other artists are doing that. Or I say artists, I'm just gonna give out an example of like VTubers. I know a lot of them will get like art commissionings from them and stuff like that. And let's just say that they happen to take off, like, I don't know, let's just say that PewDiePie became a VTuber and, you know, 10 years from now, you know, that artist is like, oh, you've been making a lot of money off of that, you know. I want a cut of that or whatever. Dancer Sam, I don't know if he's gonna want to share that with you guys. I mean, I'm fine with like, sharing my first name and whatever just because I would feel weird going by like a different name persona. I know some people out there go by like different names, but I feel weird I'm too attached to my own name. I could never go by something else. I've thought about it and I'm like, it's fine. There's plenty of other Megans in the world, so it's like the chances of us, you know, um, I don't know, but noted for the future though, I never thought about that when it comes to the whole like getting stuff put down in a contract and whatever. Uh, as of now, his legal name is Adventure Flavor. That's such a fun name. Adventure Flavor. Okay, so her name is Crystal. I'm thinking about giving her like a dark background. I go by Sorbet. Okay. I'll start calling you Sorbet if we see you in future streams or if I happen to see you on YouTube or whatever, we'll call you Sorbet. Do you ever get mistaken for that has anyone said anything about the there was a group of girls that ended up being doxxed on a TikTok for oh, sorry, brain fart. We're just gonna go back to me. Where it was these TikTokers that they were trying to be like J-pop idols, and then they were known as Sorbet, and then they got doxxed because people kept making fun of them or whatever. Like it was a bad situation, and it was something that shouldn't have happened, and then they ended up disbanding. But the main leader of that group actually is doing her own idol stuff now, and she's actually pretty good. So I'm like, I don't mind listening to her. I follow her on TikTok. She's got some pretty like fun, wholesome content. It just sucks that the original thing. I will say the original video that did go viral on TikTok for it being, I guess, cringy and people hating it was pretty cringy. Personally, I could see where it came from, but I liked it. I see Mr. Sorbet is back. Go to wait, is this the same person I followed before? I'm sorry. What is going on? Have you seen Tokyo Ghoul? Yes, I actually let me try to find the picture. I actually did a cosplay back in 2017 when I was in high school as one of the characters. Me and my friend went as Kaneki, and I went as Juzo Suzuya, which is this white haired maniac dude. And I only saw season one. I was told that season two was not so great. Let me see if I could try to find this image. It might take me a second. See pictures. Yeah, this is wild. But yeah, I loved the anime back in high school. And it was actually like one of my first few conventions I went to. My town actually had a convention that they ran for the first time. They ran it for 2 years and then never again. I was actually looking at being a vendor at one of the they were planning on doing a third year of the convention, and I was actually going to try to like do a small vendor thing because I like making plushies and stuff like that, and I thought, okay, well, let's try it. And then so I put a down payment down for one of the booths. It was like $75 for a small table. Not too bad for a very small convention. And this happened, it was supposed to happen in November 2019. Then something happened that it never actually happened, which I was very sad about. They ended up pushing it to February 2020. Well, if you know what happened in 2020, COVID happened. And so we had no idea what was going on with the convention. There were no updates. And then the guy just kind of disappeared. So then I ended up in the group chat or in the Facebook group for that convention. And all these vendors were like, what's going on? Can I get my money back? And just radio silence. The guy pretty much ran away with everybody's money. I'm not saying that he was a scam, like he was scamming people, because he did run this successfully for 2 years. But I do feel like that, like, it could have been handled better. You know, he probably blew the money or whatever the case is. But I wish there was communication between us and him But here is the really... Oh, do you have the game ready? Oh, that's fun. I want to see it. Where is it? So anyways, this was my cosplay from 2017. So I pretty much bought suspenders and I painted that. And then obviously I got the wig from online. And then I took like a white shirt and then I had these pants and whatever. And then I had to like draw on everything. But I think the worst part was I'm pretty fair skinned. It's summertime right now, so obviously I've tanned a little bit. But his skin is so white that I was trying to replicate that, so I got the palest foundation skin color I could have. And it was so bad. And then this is my friend over here, she went as Kaneki. But that was a trip. I'm excited. Can I live stream you showing the game or make sure my progress not finished, just put your art in it. Okay. Yeah, once we kind of have the prototype of our game done, I'm going to share it with you guys because I'm really excited about showing off some of the stuff. Let me get this finished up and then we can do some stuff and things with that. I'm really excited to show you guys that game progress. I'll probably have a video to share with you guys. What kind of color background should we do? I googled Tokyo Ghoul remake. Ooh, okay. Okay, that's exciting. Green's kind of a fun color. Game reveal. So we're right now working on our first, we're working on a game jam where we're it's our first time like working on like a game together. So my boyfriend's handling the programming, I'm handling the art, and it's not gonna be good. But something's better than nothing. They normally say your first few games are gonna suck. But I can show you guys some of the art real quickly. Also, I still need a color suggestion. Oh, that peach color is kind of fun. So the whole point of the game jam is the name of the game jam is called Love is Unconventional, and you're pretty much supposed to take things that are not like humans. You're not allowed to use humans in the game, and it has to be love related. So it doesn't have to be like romantic love. It can be platonic love. And the whole premise, so at first we were so my first idea was a robot, and so we're doing something that's more platonic love. And the whole idea was we were gonna have this guy that created a robot, and the robot's trying to find his way back to his creator, but the creator was gonna be a human, and it was like, so how can we, change it up? So then we changed it to it being that he meets a friend, and I'll show you guys some of the stuff. Hold up. It is not going to be a romantic story. It's going to be more of a platonic love story. Let me see if my thing is still... Okay. So this was the concept art phase 4. So this is what we call Love Bot. It's LUV bot. And his whole premise is that he's a very like a happy robot or whatever. This was another art thing I did of him. He's kind of evolved as I was trying to figure out how to draw him. Well, he gets a little squirrel companion named Chop Chop. So it was supposed to be a raccoon, but then I realized I can't draw raccoons. So it's just a fun little... So pretty much the whole premise, I had something of it. Hold up. Where is my... I call it an animatic. I'm not really sure what you would call it. So the whole premise is pretty much that the world is taken over by like evil robots, and he did not fit in with said evil robots. And so he's kind of thrown into the dumpster. And so it starts out pretty much where he's just by himself. The original thing is going to be that there's going to be like, if you see this little... I'm sorry, this is dumpster fire. I can't just draw on top of my stuff. Pretty much right here, we're going to have like a little drop kind of hit his head, and then a little plant's going to grow from it just to kind of give him a little more life. Let me backtrack on that. So anyways, so his heart kind of like goes on and off or whatever, and he's kind of like in off mode right now. And then like a sunlight thing appears, and then our squirrel Chop Chop is like, "What's going on, bud?" And just kind of sees him there. So he's like coming down. He's probably gonna turn him on, and then he like starts waking up. And then from here, you got to make your way out of the garbage zone. So this was just an example of what I drew up. So we're actually doing the game based on 4 different seasons. So we're going to have 3 levels, and then each one's going to be a different season. So 3 levels of summer, 3 levels of fall, then 3 of winter, and then 3 of spring. And so pretty much your goal is to kind of, so pretty much for the summer level, you're kind of getting out of like the garbage zone and then making your way into like the nature zone. Then you have your fall zone, which will probably have a ton of trees. Sorry, it's a very bad rendition. Then you have your winter zone, which the winter zone is probably going to have some ice spots or whatever, with Chop Chop just being our dude. And then you have the spring zones. The whole goal is to end up in like your spring area where you're away from all the evil robots. And on the way out, which as you said reminds me of WALL-E, that is part of the inspiration of this. It was a combination of Eve and WALL-E was kind of some of the inspo behind it. I still can't draw squirrel right. I think this is what he's gonna end up looking like. But so this is an example of one of our evil robots. This is our Winterbot. And so I think we're gonna try to give them each of them some kind of gimmick. I don't know what the gimmick is, where he's, I don't know, maybe he has like an ice blaster, but this is what his concept art thing was like. I'm kind of sad because we probably won't get to see his face in game, but just note this is what he's supposed to look like. And pretty much you kind of deal with like each of these evil robots as you go through each of the levels. As an example, for right now, this is static, and then I do this cute little GIF thing I'm probably going to post when I do the announcement of having the prototype video out, because we'll be working on that. Plan is to have that out next week, but just a fun little thing. But yeah, he's got his cute little plant. And so that's some of that. Let me find some of the assets for you guys. So this is my first time working on a texture block. I think the feedback I got was I need to get rid of this line right here, but that'll be in the final version. We have the running animation for Chop Chop, which is incredibly bad, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm very new to drawing, and like I didn't really start drawing in Procreate really until like February of this year. So it's a lot of trial and error, but we're going for more of like a cutesy style. This is our winter backdrop. So it's mountains, you have like cute little clouds, and then a moon. So one thing I wanted to incorporate was that for each season, it's a different time of day. So summer might be more of like midday, fall will be more like sunset, winter kind of gives me like nighttime vibes, and then spring will be probably like daybreak or daytime again. You should give Lovebot a glitch mode where he gets angry and Chop Chop runs away and he has to Oh, that would be cute. Okay. As of right now, the game is called The Adventures of Lovebot and Chop Chop. We don't really have a thing for that yet. Yeah, that might be fun. The what do you call it? Giving him a little angry mode. This is a little snowman I drew up. I'll touch back on your whole glitch mode thing in a second to figure out how I can incorporate that into the game. I showed you guys our little winter bot. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea to add, because originally he was, you know, he was thrown away for not being a bad guy, and maybe he has like that glitch or something to make him a bad guy, which makes Chop Chop run away, and then they become friends again. So that might be something we could maybe do mid-game. That might be a fun little thing. This is supposed to be a rock. I don't have much to say about the rock. There's a static image of Chop Chop. So we're actually adding a mechanic where you can actually grapple to tile sets. So this was me trying to draw his arm. I don't really know how much this is actually going to get incorporated in. I also have no idea how grappling hooks work, but I drew this grappling thing. So really when it's shooting out, it's going to be this. And then once it hooks onto something, it's supposed to display that. No idea how that's gonna work, and this is how his hand is, their little grippers. So I just kind of drew that up. And then I actually stole this from another person. So I'm actually in a Discord for game developers that was actually local to my area here in Texas, but they've expanded outwards, called Society of Play. And one of the creators in the from like one of the creators of the group, like there's a couple thousand people in there. She had a thing that like when you kill off a character or like one of the bad guys, they like float away, and then she had like a little like wooden sign that says rest in peace. So we're kind of doing our own version of it where it's a rest in a peace sign. So it was just kind of like a fun little thing I drew up. Instead of doing a sign, I just thought it was silly. These are some of the UI elements that we're going to be using. This is not what it's going to look like because I want the wood to look more cartoony, but that's just a thing. This is a fun little portal I drew. Honestly, it was just a portal thing, and then I just copied it to make it look like it was rotating. So the point is that at every checkpoint, he's going to go through a portal for some reason. We wanted something like what they did in Mario, like where you would have a flag at the end. Then I had different dust cloud things that we're going to use, because I'll explain what that is in a second. But we have various dust clouds. I don't know if this one's going to get used. This looks like more they're smoking. This one was a fun one, and then this was another one. But essentially what's going to happen is he has different moving things. So this is just like his basic like moving mechanic. So he's just kind of static for right now. I don't have the wheels turning yet. That's going to be for a final version, but he blinks. This is his really cringy running animation. Let me change the frame rate to not be so high. But it was also done within like 10 minutes earlier. But that's what it's supposed to look like when he's running. Is supposed to, But we were going to add a mechanic where it looks like he's actually revving his engine. So he's kind of like getting down like in a runner's position. And you actually like, have your cloud smoke thing kind of coming up behind you. And I gave him like these fire looking eyes. Again, I know it's not great, but that's fine. This is actually supposed to be his pose for whenever we're grappling. So what I wanted was like, in Superman, how he kind of does like this or something like that. I wanted something like that, but like his hand being like up, and then he's kind of grappling stuff, kind of like, I don't know. I just thought that'd be fun. And the same thing with his jumping animation. Whenever you jump, he's kind of, arm up, kind of going up and down. So that's kind of stuff we've drawn up. Those are the dust clouds. Okay, so time to look back at the chat. What if the AI was infected? Other bots, but the reason why Glovebot isn't infected because he runs on old hardware, kind of retro style. I love that idea. I love that. Yeah. That could be something that we can add into his lore. What we're probably gonna do between like the different seasons is we're gonna do like, I don't want to say an animatic. I forgot what the terminology is called. But it was that thing I showed you guys earlier where it'll be a better looking version of it, but where is it? I'm sorry, I'm having a big old brain fart. Nope, that's not it. That was a test sequence. Bestie. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, like this. It'll look a lot nicer and more colored out. But how this is kind of like an animatic or kind of like a really low frame rate animation is kind of what we're probably going to add. Yeah, like a cutscene or animation is kind of what it's going to be at like the end of the seasons or whatever is kind of what we're looking at doing. So that could be something that we add into the lore, but I do like that idea. So he's more of like a little retro bot while the other ones are like new and up to date with like their firmware and stuff like that. And it makes him immune to the AI virus. So yeah, it could definitely be that where they all just got updated to be evil or a glitch or something. But I do like the idea of having him glitch at some point and make poor Chop Chop run away. And then he's like, no, I'm so sorry. And then, Chop Chop comes back and they make amends. I I have not read the Tokyo Ghoul manga. Should I? Is it any good? Weirdly enough, my manga collection isn't that great. Do I have it in here? No, it's in another room. I don't have a wide, expansive thing of that. But anyway, that's just some fun stuff that we've been working on in the background. So once we kind of have our prototype, then we'll get that recorded and I will share that with you guys. And then towards the end of our what do you call it? Towards the end of isn't that Soul Bone's background color? Towards the end of the game jam, which is I think August 15th, we'll if people want to play it for funsies, we'll put it out there. I think it's gonna be on itch.io. Is that what that's called? Tokyo Ghoul manga is good. I sure hope so. The anime alone was good. It was fun too. Like the OG was fun. I liked it. As for color background, whatever. What is going on? Ooh, purple's fun. I think we're gonna do purple as our background. Okay, then I'm also going to I don't know if I should do an outline. I think I'm fine with it. What did we name it? Crystal? Bear with me. I'm probably going to... Should I type out the name or should I just write it out? Fine, gel pen. Ew. Going to... Calligraphy! That's a hard no for me, Chief. But yeah, definitely hoping to have like I said, the demo video up by next week. Writing is cooler. What do you mean writing? Like writing stuff out or like the writing for the stuff? I think that's kind of our, I don't know. I'm not great at writing things. Tokyo Ghoul manga ended 2012 to 2014. I did not know that. Okay, so purple. Let's make you a little darker. Ew. Oh, writing is cooler. Yeah, well, I don't have the greatest handwriting. Let me at least sign it off first. I like to sign my stuff off. Maybe too thick. Okay, so there's my fun little signature. And then, yeah, originally when I was like signing off my stuff, I was doing MMC, which is Meow Made Crafts, and then I realized how much I hated that. So I'm just signing off with my first name, which is fine. So a pen I might want to use for this. I don't know where I actually have space to write her name. And I need to do you on a new layer, bestie. Oopsie. Is it Y? Okay. I gotta be slow with this pen because of how I have it set up. Well, I hope that doesn't look stupid. That looks really stupid. Sorry. What if I distort you a little bit? Okay, let's try to rewrite her name again. Grr! Does my Y look like garbage? Good enough. The name might look cool if you write it on the side, but sideways towards the... Wait, hold up. The name might look cool if you put the name on the right side, but sideways, bottom to the top of the page. Like here? That might definitely be fun. But I need a thicker brush for this. Why do I do this to myself? If only I could write her name correctly. I like your train of thinking, Sorbet. Now let's redo that as. I may have to sit on the lettering and see if I like this or redo this tomorrow. Let's move you around. If I could draw like you, I feel like my life as a creator and brand manager would be so much simpler. You want me to be honest? Yeah, I like that. I like Crystal on the side. Let me actually move our Crystal girly over. And I'll actually touch on the whole art thing in a second. Girly, where are your eyes? To answer you... Oh, that's a good one. Growing up, as much as I liked Naruto, I thought Sasuke was like the better looking one. Now, post time skip, the creator of Naruto like really butchered both of them. But I don't know. Sasuke's just so cool. But you can't have Naruto without Sasuke, and you can't have Sasuke without Naruto. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say Sasuke, but as much as I love, Naruto and Hinata, like, being the power couple, because I think Sakura and Sasuke being together just doesn't make any sense. You know? Speaking of, let's move my girly over a little bit. There we go, that's fun. To touch on the whole thing, if I could draw like you, keep in mind, I am quite rough at drawing. This was supposed to be Buttercup, and it looks alright. That's all I can tell you is that it looks alright. But this was created in April. It is a it is it's been a process of trying to get to where I am today. I say I'm on an artist journey because like this was a recent thing I drew today. It was supposed to be a chibi of actually damn. To give some background, so growing up I drew a lot of Powerpuff Girls, and this was a character I drew. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's supposed to be a rendition of her. Oh no! Oh no! Not the short drawing. Okay. So I, I know I'm gonna kind of like mentally date myself. Where is it? Shark. So I actually own a shark costume that I wear to conventions almost specifically. And let me try to find a recent picture of me wearing it because I just wore it to a convention called DreamHack. Um, Hold up, let me try to find the picture. I'll share it with you guys because oh lord. But it was supposed to be that. I was just like messing around and just trying to draw something. Um, what am I doing? I have not heard of Yogscast in a long time. That's funny. Okay, let me show off this. Hold up, sorry, brain fart. So like this was me. So you can kind of see it was. Now the original costume is of Left Shark. If you guys are familiar with Left Shark from Katy Perry, this was an original thing. This was the original costume. And so people they went to Amazon to sell this. And when I was in high school, I was in a pre-K 3 class helping out a teacher there as a community service thing. And the class for their spring show was performing Baby Shark. And so I was like, let me go get myself a shark costume. I'll join you guys. So I ended up buying this costume. And I've just had this ever since. I think I got this in 2018. And this has just kind of followed me everywhere. And so now I get mistaken for Baby Shark, Left Shark, and then the latest one was Jeff the Shark from Marvel Rivals. And I do have a Twitch account where I have streamed a little bit. I haven't had much time to do it lately. Of me playing as Jeff the Shark in my shark costume, which it's hard enough to try to be in the shark costume in game, but I've also never played Marvel Rivals prior to playing this. But definitely a thing. His name is Brenton. So he's had his fair share of mishaps of people misspelling his name. And so it unfortunately sucks for him. At this point, whenever he just gives out his name, he just says it's Brent, which has gotten a lot of people can spell that a lot more easier than adding 2 extra letters at the end of it. And yes, Sharky. I every convention I go to now, I go in my shark costume. It's just kind of become like a me thing, like a miniature branding thing for me. I am curious if we're able to show off the game thing on stream. I'm not really sure how that... Yes, that's how you spell it. I am so glad you spelled it right the first time. Jeff the Land Shark is overpowered. Didn't they just nerf him? I don't really know what they did to him, but somebody told me recently, and I forgot. But I know that they did something with him during some recent update back at the end of May. But I think he's cute. He's fun to play. I think that's my only motivation for playing as him is that. Okay, do I call you? I'm sorry, give me a second. Bear with me a second as I go in voice call. We're gonna, I guess, show off the game if you guys are interested. Can you hear me? Okay, let me share my desktop audio. And yes, I play a little bit of Marvel Rivals. I'm not great at it, but they should make him into sushi. Oh, that would be so cute. Into like a little sushi thing. Okay, I did a Jeff the Shark one. That's how I discovered who Jeff the Shark was before Marvel Rivals. And, what do you call it? So then I think she's working on doing like the little dolphin skin. It's like a pink little skin that they have. And I think it's totally cute. I should probably have my chat stream up because I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I think they can hear you too, so don't say anything too weird. I don't know how well they can hear you though, but that's fine. So as you guys can see my lovely skin. Oh my god, it moves! Little Chop Chop, he's so cute! Yeah, if you guys see at the bottom over there, go back to the left so I can show them the lovely texture. Yes, I gotta get rid of that line. That's... we'll worry about that in our final product. Oh my god! It does the whole grappling thing. Oh my god! And then the background, like the clouds kind of move separately. I'm aware that the stars look a little pixelated. That's something that we are also fixing. Did you ever get the... Oh, look, it's rubbing mode! That's fun. Oh my god, he looks so derpy with his running mode. I'm gonna have to add more frames to that so he looks less weird. Trying to figure out how to do that. But what's great though is I like that he blinks, and I like the blinking animation with Unity. That's what we're using for our game engine. And thank you, Sorbet. We are doing our best. This is my first time working on a game. Now, Brenton has more experience with the whole game thing than I do. I have zero experience, so this has been a very fun experience. But, oh, did he get stuck? But yeah, so once we kind of have more updates and stuff like that out, we'll post it for the masses to play. That's so fun. Oh, he dashes! He looks really funny when he's moving. Woo! I like how he just launches himself. And then you're gonna add the enemy, I think, at some point too for our final demo. But no, this is fun. I like what we got so far. This is not bad for me not knowing what I'm doing. And Chop Chop, is he following our robot guy? I don't really know like what Chop Chop's gonna do for right now. I think for this game jam he's gonna follow him, but the eventual goal is for us to we were talking about maybe in a future version of this where we can kind of make this like a 2-player game. Like if you guys are familiar with like Fireboy and Water Girl from like Cool Math games, how that's kind of like you need 2 people to play it. I think his running animation. Wait, I'll touch on that in a second. But yeah, like kind of having it like as a 2-part. What do you call it? It's just gonna be like, you know, one person plays as one character, you play as the other, but you both have to like be there with each other, and one person will play with the keyboard on like the arrow keyboards, and one person does like the WASD, and just like a fun little co-op game. Let's see what we have so far. I think his running arm animation should be kind of like he's swinging his arms in an S shape, like he happy jolly arm swing. I was looking at doing that to kind of like rig it like that. I'm not quite sure how to do that quite yet, but that's definitely something I'll take into mind as I'm figuring that out. Honestly, oh, is his arms different colors? Oh no, it's just because it's thicker than the other. Okay, sorry, that was me during when I was drawing that up earlier. Is Lovebot and Chop Chop going to release on Steam? As of right now, no. Our plan is to put it out on itch.io, which is pretty much a browser, or it's a website. Oh, whoopsie. It's pretty much you'll be able to play on the browser. So that is the plan for right now on that. I'm not sure what the future of Lovebot and Chop Chop's gonna be. We would like to do, I guess, what is it, like a remaster or what's the other thing? Or pretty much where it's made looking better is kind of the end goal. But yeah, definitely for the arm thing, I will take what you said into mind. I'm not really sure how I'm sold on his jumping animation when it comes to the actual sprite itself, so I gotta play with that. But him going up and down, I'm fine with. Maybe his falling, I'm not sure. I gotta play with that. But I like his whole grappling mechanic. I think that's my favorite thing so far. He's so fun. Well, thank you for demonstrating that for us.
Arm extension thing.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite thing so far. I'm still not sold on his other arm though. I gotta play with that. What did you do to his like end thing?
What?
It looks like it's brown.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you do that? I mean, it looks fine.
I didn't mean to do that. I don't know.
No, it looks good. I like it.
Maybe I accidentally made it brown.
Was it me? I like it. It gives him color. Let's see what Sorbet had to say. Chop Chop could fetch nuts for Lovebot instead of actual tree nuts, but metal. Ooh, okay. That's not a bad idea. I like that. What somebody said, which is Sorbet, they said Chop Chop could fetch nuts for Lovebot, but instead of actual tree nuts, it's metal bolts and nuts that are scattered throughout the ground to give Lovebot more HP. And only Lovebot can, or only Chop Chop can see them and find them. That's a good idea. That's a good idea if we end up doing an HP system. I think we're still figuring that part out, but at least it gives them some kind of usefulness for this. I can draw like little nuts and bolts.
That looks better, right?
What?
The arm thing.
Yeah, it does. I thought the brown was fun though. To it. But yeah, I like that idea. How do you feel about well, I guess I'll talk to you more about that. But I like some of these ideas that they're coming up with. But thank you again for demonstrating the the game.
I like the little. That's my favorite part. The little do 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 like going to work kind of.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to add the what do you call it? The smoke stuff to it.
Oh yeah, I have those.
Sorry, I don't know how well you guys could hear him. But yeah, no, I definitely like some of these ideas here. So I really like the nut idea and then the stuff for the arm. And then I gotta figure out how we're gonna add some of the lore. That could honestly be at the beginning of the what do you call it? At the cause like I was showing you guys, hold up. Excuse my shark dude. Wrong thing. Here's Crystal, our bestie wolf thing. Am I on something? Nope, I am on the wrong stack. I keep losing it. Where's my animatic thing I was working on? Oh, here we go. I'm really bad at naming these things. You know, just the whole idea. That could be something that actually like gives us some stuff, or maybe he can like have like little memories or something as you guys progress the game. Or maybe, oh, you know, that would be a bad idea. That maybe after like some of the levels, or maybe after a level, there's like a bit of some lore information about like the history of how we got to where we are. Because I would like to figure out how to incorporate some kind of lore. But yeah. But anyway, so end game is going to be that Chop Chop is going to be with Lovebot in somewhere in the spring area where he's just kind of there and enjoying life and just kind of I'm thinking of like Beast from Beauty and the Beast, like where there's a scene where there's like birds and stuff like that that kind of corral around him. I could totally see something like that happening and he's just kind of chilling. But I love him. It's a fun thing. But yeah, no, if you guys have any ideas or anything, just feel free to drop them. Maybe I'll make a community post and just ask for recommendations once we kind of have more of our prototype out and just see what anybody has to say, if it's lore related or whatever. Or if it's just like small mechanics here and there. Totally down to get that added in. Plot twist for part 2 of the game. Chop Chop is an AI and a Lovebot has to find the original creator to make Chop Chop a retrobot like himself. Ooh. Ooh, that would definitely be a definite plot twist. I would actually cry if like Chop Chop is like an evil robot and his ulterior motives were to get Chop Chop out into the real world to like, either like get destroyed or to be updated to be corrupt like the rest of them. That would be very sad, but that would be a very fun plot twist. The adventures of Chop Chop and I as much as, you know, the whole point of the game jam is to have like no human elements, but definitely a part 2, I would like to have the creator be a human. Like I already had a whole idea for that. So that could definitely be something. The original idea I had for Lovebot was that there were going to be 2 different creators that were working on a robot and that one of the creators really loved him, but the other creator got like was like, this is garbage, we don't need him anymore, and then just kind of throw away the robot thinking it was useless. And so then, you know, Lovebot wakes up and he's now in a whole new world of, he's in a pile of garbage and the only thing on his mind is making it back to his creator. And I thought of two endings for how that could have been. One ending could have been that he does make it back to his creator and, happy ending. Or he tries to make it back to his creator, but, maybe it's far in the future and maybe it's just robots now taking over or whatever the case is. And his creator's actually dead. And so really he gets like a sad ending, but, I was too sad for that. I didn't want to give him a sad ending, but that was definitely something I was thinking about. But I do like the idea of Chop Chop being a robot. Still, still a little sad. So would he be like an evil robot? Like that's what I would imagine, that he would be more of like a evil, evil robot, having ulterior motives to lure him out, to try to get him updated. Oh my god. I will also post the art that we did today somewhere on the internet so you guys can take a look at it. Because I love doing that. I love sharing what we do here on my stream stuff. Let me see. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with updates on the game and whatever, just so you guys are kept in the loop. What is my battery life? Because you were... Oh, it's finally at full battery. I don't really have much else to show you guys for tonight. We'll hopefully have more updates within the next week. Tomorrow I am planning on streaming a little earlier. We're shooting for around 6:30 Central Standard Time. And maybe going for a couple hours, and then I'm going to hop off. And then this weekend I am going to be out of town, so then the goal is to continue our streams going on into next week. So, and then I think the following weekend we should still be doing our morning weekend streams, is still the plan. So that goes around 9-10 o'clock, or 8-9 o'clock in the mornings on Saturdays and Sundays. And then during the week I'm trying to be more, a little more consistent. It just happened that this week that I try to shoot for Tuesdays and Thursdays. It just happened this week that was not the case. So anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. If you guys happen to hop on or whatever, I will be here. If you can't make it to tomorrow, I will have other days where I stream. I will always post it in my community tab now. Before I didn't do that, I just kind of streamed, and you guys are more than welcome to join in. But thank you so much for joining in, and I hope you have a good night. And Sorbet, I wish you best of luck of trying to find an artist. And honestly, if you just want to create your own art, it takes time, but it's definitely helps with having to deal with legality stuff. So that might be another route you look at if you can't find someone to sign that stuff off.